should I say, a manageable, or should I say, tangible grasp of history, you should be able to know that what is happening now will inevitably come to pass. We foretold what is going on now. We anticipated it. We announced it to the hearing of the whole world. The entirety of humanity can bear us witness. Prophecy after prophecy, prediction after prediction. What did we do? Nothing. We were more interested in individual survivalism. There is that thing within us. Lack of cooperation. Because those who are piloting the affairs of Biafra are not my relatives. They are not my fathers. They are not my uncles. They are not my children. I have a business in Abuja. I have a business in Kaduna. I live in the USA. I live in Europe. I live in Asia. I live in Lagos. It doesn't concern me. It doesn't bother me. That level of destructive individualism is why we are in the mess we are in today more than any other people. It is down to a very deplorable and ugly trait in an Igbo person. Very, very ugly. And we must expunge it tonight. We must try, I should try to, grandmothers are listening. How do I do this now? We must try as much as we can to remove this bad behavior from our system. It's terrible. That is the bane of an Igbo man. Selfishness to the point of destruction. Not just their own personal destruction, but the destruction of everybody. Had we not rushed back to the north immediately after the war, where people were struggling what to eat, there was no coordination, there was no planning. Those we are remembering this week, what they fought for, we frittered away more or less. We destroyed everything that they accomplished due to selfishness and individualism of an Igbo man. The same thing that made it impossible after the war for some elders to rise up and go into Ibibio land, go into Ijo land, as brothers and sisters to reconcile, knowing fully well the plan of the Fulani. It was incumbent upon them immediately after the war, should I say, in 1976, as soon as Ohanese was set up, it was incumbent upon them. I expected them to go into the hinterland, to go into the coastal region of Biafra land and say, we got some things wrong. How do we fix it? They never did it. Until I started that very effort in 1999. They didn't do it. And till today it's not been done. I kept quiet to see if they would do it. But they have not. Because of selfishness and individualism. Not that well, of course, Igbos are very good people. The same way that others are too. But sometimes there is a way you conduct yourself and the way you behave that gives off the wrong vibe and the wrong message. And that is what we're going to correct this very evening, this very morning, afternoon, or night, depending on where you are. Unless it is marriage, unless it is politics or business, we never ever plan ahead. And that is why we are now having Janjaweed, terrorists from the Sahel, across the entire Sahel, supported by terrorists who have been recruited into the Zoo army, into our land. We are not a people that learn from history either. We never learn from history. The killing of Biafrans started since 1945. Since 1945, they have been killing us every blessed year till now. I want people to count back how many years since 1945 they've been killing us till now. Because they kill us and we do nothing. They came to Uzowani, they came to, we've been battling out with them in Epo. Everywhere you go to, they've been killing us. In Delta, in Cross River, in Akwa Ibom, everywhere there is death. And because we kept quiet over many years, they now realized, okay, we have divided them well enough. We have confused them well enough. We have raised enough saboteurs and traitors within them. Now let's go and occupy their land. That is why they have come. The truth is that The only thing that has been shielding us for centuries is the mercy of Elohim, in heaven, God Almighty. If it is down to the effort of an Igbo man, by now we will be a conquered people because of our selfishness, our greed, and our petty jealousy. These are the facts of life that nobody can escape from. It is the truth. And that truth must be confronted this very evening, because I can see how Professor Joffo is suffering in USA. Every day the man will be lamenting. We need help. They have come. They don't care in America. They just don't care. But tomorrow now, if they catch any of them and want to deport them, you see they'll be crying, saying, Americans are wicked. You saw the way the Chinese were treating us. Some of us complain and said it's evil. But imagine the way you treat yourselves. Look at the way those in America that can fund a resistance have just sat on their hands, waiting for everybody to be killed in the village so they can come back and cut a deal with the Fulani to become the emir to take people's land. That's what they're waiting for. That is the height of greed and the height of wickedness. And you claim you go to church, you go to the temple, you go to synagogue all the time. You go in front of your deity, whatever thing that you're worshiping, and you claim you're an honest person. Every day you bless kola nuts and you break it and you eat. You don't mean to us all that nonsense we talk about. We libate with hot drink. We speak to the human spirit when we pour drink outside during libation. After all of that, our behavior is as rotten as a stinking dustbin. As a stinking dustbin. Because I saw what Obiano was doing today and I felt ashamed of myself. And I said, this is not the great race that Lugard talked about. Is not this chaff. I believe that the real Igbo man died in 1970. Everything you've had ever since is just chaff. Counterfeit. Chaff. Because under Igbo Union, if we had Igbo Union would have seen all of these things before. They would have seen it long time ago and they would have made plans for it. But look at where we are today. Nobody knows. Your so-called leaders are hiding, doing conference call, doing Zoom, or is it Voom? I don't know what they call it. When you require leadership, they are found wanting. But they will be the ones to rise up tomorrow morning and say, we are the leaders. We are the leaders. They don't respect us. Some of you that grew outside Igbo land that don't know the meaning of respect. There is something we that grew up in the village, there's something called Okenyi Beribe. If you don't know, go ask your next door neighbor. Because some of you grew up in Lagos, in Abuja, in Wisconsin. Some of you grew up in Guangzhou, in China. Some of you grew up in the UK. You don't know how we grew up as children. You have no idea about our culture and our way of life. Okenyi Beribe, nobody will respect you. Nobody. When you speak, people will laugh at you. Children will laugh, will make a mockery of you. Because you're old for nothing. Look at where we are today. Look at the mess we are in today. And how sad it is. How sad it is that Obiano is now erecting a fence on Headbridge. He doesn't know the history of Headbridge. He doesn't know why some people in Anioma are upset. He doesn't know the reason why Achuzia commanded Biafran soldiers and was as ruthless as he was. The same Headbridge. He doesn't know the history of Headbridge, Onitsha. He thinks it's just something you can wake up in the morning and just close it off. Headbridge, Onitsha has symbolism. Because after Murtala Mohammed's second army came into Asaba, Headbridge was blown up to slow the advance of the army. And the fighters and the soldiers we had in Anioma could not cross over the bridge to safety. They were all massacred. Some of this history, we have no idea. When people are upset, sometimes you try and find out why they're angry. I saw a video, a very distressing video, where people, our own flesh and blood in Igbocha, after the war, said that Igbos shouldn't come back to Igbocha. Iguacha is River State, for those who don't know, Port Harcourt. And I was reflecting and pondering, why would this man say this? But he's an Igbo man. After all, some people they have no idea about their history. There's a place in Iguacha called Omadaolu. There is nowhere in the entire Igbo land that a village takes after a daughter. These were the descendants of a woman taken from Arochukwu to be sold as a slave. And slavery was abolished. And she stayed there. She was the only daughter. All of her siblings were sold as slaves. We sold them. That is part of the reason why God is angry with us. If you go to some places in Biafra land, they will tell you, we don't want anything to do with Arochukwu people. They will tell you that. You don't know the reason why. Because of slavery. Because of slavery, if you don't know, let me tell you. Some people despised it. This family was taken, everybody was sold, remaining one daughter, and slavery was abolished. That village became Omadaolu, the children of the only surviving daughter. The only place in the entire length and breadth of Igbo land where people are named after a woman. You ask yourself, why are people angry and upset with you? Why? Because of this same thing that is happening to us now. Selfishness and individualism. We were in Iguacha. Those that came from old Anambra will take those that come from Anambra and take care of them. Those from Imo will do the same all over the place. We never encouraged our own people who are in Ikwere, who are our flesh and blood, taken as slaves. Go and ask them if you know history, you know what I'm talking about. Most of the settlements in Ikwere land are slaves who were there and slavery was abolished. If you don't know, let me tell you. Go and check your history very well. The white man came and had slave merchants across the coast who started selling people. Igbo people started to sell their own people. Before the white man came from Europe, we were selling to the Jukuns. There's a place in Niger. If you don't know, the market is still there. Ayabag is still there. Some of you ever read Domenoko? Go and read it very well. It's very clean and clear. We sold our own people. So God's anger has been with us from time. God's, not the fact that we worship idol, not the fact that we bow before a graven image. God's anger has been with us from time. Why I'm touching all these things is to tell us that our behavior is very bad, especially at this time. Our land is under siege. How can you be saying to people, you should be consulted? Who are you, Wonye? To consult you. Janjaweed is in your father's compound. You have no shame. You name your children Ahamefula, but your names are lost. Because all of you in America, your children, they will marry Latinos. They will marry Mexicans. Let me see how you bring them home. I'm giving you only 2 more generations. You will be wiped away from the face of the earth. Your compound in the village will close down. You are finished. Selfishness. And the Joffa is suffering, running all over the place. I don't talk about IPOB. Because we have what it takes to defend ourselves. But we can't defend every village. We can't defend every village. It's not possible. Every year we remember those that died. Every year. After 50 good years, not one monument, not one proper monument you can look at and say, oh wow. The one I tried to build in Enugu was they knocked it down. With his thumbs. Because he was afraid of all the atrocities he's committed with Biafra, and thinking once this cenotaph stands, he will die. All of you were there and he kept quiet. Of course, when the time comes, he will pay very dearly for it. Doesn't he know that? Of course, you pay for it. You pay very dearly for it. It is that your selfishness that is driving you now. They have come in. Some of you, is it answer to the God, the Anambra State Association in America? Can you not reason and ask yourself, why is Headbridge being closed? And what can we do to save our people? You can't do it. Tomorrow you say you're in America. Tomorrow you go and say, you'll be preaching rubbish, democracy, how to be nice to one another, how to be good and all that nonsense. We have our own faults, sometimes even deeper than those from outside that we criticize. I must tell you the truth. Elohim is waiting in heaven and watching to see what this generation of selfish Igbo people will do. I consulted on Igbo this very evening, this very first segment. Because if you are the first son of a family, the same way that Anambra is the first son of all of us, Anambra is the beginning of everything. It is their responsibility and duty to rise up and to say, from the likes of Adama of Ngri, these are the kingmakers, men of honor and integrity. Men of honor and integrity. These are the men that I respect. They have no respect for elders, but I respect the Adama, I respect him. And many others. Our father is there. All over the place. Or should I say fathers, that we respect and accord every honor. But not every idiot. Because in Igbo land there is something called Okenyi Beribe. You misbehave and you think you get respect from us, you're dreaming. It can never happen. People are not cooperating. The same thing happened in Africa. That was why only 5,000 men took over the whole of Africa. The same thing that's happening to us today. The same way the Janjaweed, the same thing that is happening to us now was the reason why the Fulanis found it very easy to divide and conquer the Hausa people. There is a very slight history I'll give to you later on, so you'll understand it very well. We had a whole year to plan the war in 1967. They killed us after the coup in 1966. They massacred everybody. Who planned the coup? Those planning to keep Nigeria one. The same idiots we have today. Nzobu came to make Nigeria one. He was born in the north. After his coup failed, the mantle of leadership was taken over by somebody else raised in the north. My mother's uncle, who is Agironsi, traveled to the north at the age of 8 years old. So he's more or less a Kano citizen. All of them were in the north. They wanted one Nigeria. Like Azikiwe, born in Zungeru, also the north. They wanted one Nigeria. In the search of a perfect Nigeria, Nsobo headed a coup that was tagged an Igbo coup. After the coup finished and they killed all of us, they now said, oh, Agbanam is no longer Igbo. It is a Midwest, Middle Belt, South Belt, Niger Delta, South. Are you following what I'm saying? It's a very sober, because this week, remember our dead. It's a very sober broadcast this very evening, but laden with a lot of information and soul searching, which is the entire essence anyway. We had a whole year to plan. 66 to 70, we never planned anything until the war came. I was there running around trying to buy weapons, trying to defend our land, when it was too late. By the end of it, 5 million people lay dead. 5 million died. No plan, nothing. The same thing that happened then is happening now again. So in 50 years, an Igbo man has learned nothing. In 50 years, they have become even more stupid than they were ever before. Everybody has sense. Everybody is an intellectual. Even an idiot who for the blue file about office flat file with a warm constitution in it. Now, gossiping, that's what they do. Talking rubbish. Enemies are they have come. Can you see them? They have come. You are still busy yapping and talking rubbish, making stupid videos, talking nonsense and writing garbage. Now tell me why I shouldn't believe that an agent of the zoo to distract us. Some idiots are in America telling me that they are speaking American Akata accents, talking pure rubbish. You are in your house. Your place is burning, you want to be consulted. But the white people that built America, they did not wait for anybody to consult them. They drove the British away, built a civilization, now you're enjoying in America. Do you see the difference between a white man and a black person? A white man has shame and honor and integrity. We have none. I tell you the truth. Because if we had any shame, I was in America. How many months ago was I in the US? I said, how many months ago? I was in Baltimore. There was a town hall meeting in Baltimore. The hall was packed, full of all of you. Isn't it? In Baltimore. I traveled from Washington, D.C. I think we drove for nearly 2 hours or thereabout to go to Baltimore so I can preach to you. What did I tell you? I need you to contribute $1 each. Somebody asked why. I said, because we need to prepare. As I told you in Los Angeles. So people talk about Los Angeles in 2015. I'm talking about 2020. 2020, am I correct? 2020 or thereabout. January, or was it December last year, we went to Baltimore. Have you all forgotten? I told you to contribute $1 each. Did you do it? You didn't. Ordinary $1. Being a typical Igbo man full of selfishness, greed and envy, self-deprecation. What you were thinking is, he did not contribute $1. He was thinking, oh, this is now, if all of us now contribute $1, hey, that will give him maybe nearly $2 million so every month. So, hey, no. Now they have come to your village. The reason for that $1, they have come. How many of you paid $1? Ordinary $1. One single dollar. You couldn't pay. But in America, as selfish as Satan, you people you are evil. Horrible people. And I wish that one day America would deport all of you. Deport all of you. I'm telling you, I wish America can deport. You people are evil. Obiano is building gates at Head Bridge. Some of you are sharing it on social media. But you're in America. You don't know why God sent you there? Look at Eritrea. It was Eritreans in the diaspora that saved their country. You don't know that before? You don't know that is your job? You don't know that was why you went to the USA? You have no idea? Because you're not prayerful. None of you go to useless Pentecostal churches. You are not spiritual. You are not in the spirit. If you are, you would have known the reason why Elohim sent you to America. The reason why you went to Europe. Some of you think it's to feed your family. Love from your mother, your father, and your children come naturally from your siblings. The greatest love in life is the love you have for your nation. That is why people die under a flag. The love you have for your nation, for your people, is the greatest love ever. Not for your wife, not for your child. The greatest love is the love you have for your nation. And your willingness to sacrifice anything to keep your nation progressive. Not like the zoo. We can't do it. We are intellectuals, so. All of you were there, Morrissey, who developed a drug for COVID-19. I've been watching all of them. They never said anything. He was ignored. Janjaweed went all the way to Madagascar to go and bring drugs. Nobody complained, as usual. Only IPOB. Only Namdekan complained. And then, was it BBC, was it channels that ran and interviewed him? And then after that, what? Nothing. You never learn. Every blessed day, Fulani Janjaweed is telling you, we are against you, we hate you. Every day they show it in their words, in their action. Now they have brought war to us. And some idiots in America, they want us to buy palm wine and coconut and call a meeting and break it and do this rubbish they do every day. Elohim will give us Biafra. What we will do to some of you in America, believe you me, you know me, I say my own things fresh, clean, and live. So your envy can increase 10,000 times. Your jealousy can multiply. Now, Biafra will come. What we will do to you people in America, Americans will be wondering, are you sure you're from that place? Because people are evil. You people are wicked. Very, very wicked. Beyond belief. Come on, $1. So you don't know. So in America, you don't pay tax. in America to defend America. So you think when America comes out with a stealth bomber, it fell from heaven? You don't need these years of research and development. You're not aware of that. I thought you guys went to school. I thought you went to school and you're educated. 67, the same thing happened. We lost 5 million dead in the year 2020. We are still making this. Hey, after 50 years, the same. Look at what talking rubbish. Talking about true federalism. Can you believe? Are you people mad? Are you insane? Are you insane? Are your brain cells not working? Let me see the idiot that will come out to say they're contesting. Check up on Hawk. Then you bring out money to buy rice and Indomie. Now, those people that you want to convince to vote for you, their lives are under threat. Instead of you to rise up and defend your land, some of you are busy giving our land to Fulani. And there was just one idiot from Obunike who will get hold of you. Check up our work. They say he's that PG in Obunike. They are selling our land. Do you know there is a native doctor, Fulani native doctor in Obunike? I have his name, I have his video, I have it. Fulani native doctor. That the dead Obunike Igwe, they connived and gave our land, the land of Biafra, to Fulani. There is another idiot in Opa using a registered business to be buying land from people to give to Fulani. These are Igbo men answering Igbo names in Abuja and in Lagos, going and doing bring kola nut. Let's pray on top of it. They don't know the meaning of it. Let's pray on top of kola nut and break it and eat. They're selling our land to Fulani. Defend that land, they will not defend it. Every 4 years they come, vote for us, so. Or the Janjawood will make them governor anyway. I think that's what's going to happen from now onwards. Do whatever nonsense you like. They wait for you in Abuja and choose whoever they like. Couples of them is giving our land to Fulani elementary schools. There are some things that I wonder what our ancestors will be thinking or feeling right now, to be honest with you. I don't know, to be honest. It's very, very shameful. Very shameful. For us, it is always, what will I gain? Usually. What is my gain? To serve your people, you're asking, what am I going to gain? What is going to be my gain if I go into this thing? Typical Igbo man. Igbo man at his worst. What am I going to gain? And I said in 2009, I said to those of them in the north, one day they will kill you. You see all those properties you are collecting in the north, it is gone. Because once they take over Biafra land, they will cut off your escape route. You are finished. Fulani despises you to the bone. Doubly so because Nzogu killed Ahmadu Bello. They are Sadwan. They are Sion, the firstborn of their people. A direct descendant of what man don't follow you. You think they'll forgive you? You are mad, you are insane, because you don't know history. You don't know anything. You wonder why Fulani they hate you as much as they do. Because Nzogu killed the Sadwan of Sokoto, Ahmadu Bello. Shot the idiot dead. He was you can define ethnic bigotry. Ahmadu Bello's son was out of this world. And Nzogu was trying to save Nigeria. You know, he took over. You know, he was trying to save Nigeria. And look at where we are. Those trying to save Nigeria, look at now Nigeria the zoo has come in to swallow us. And somebody is in America waiting to be consulted. This thing you people are doing, I wasn't consulted. Elohim, please give us Biafra. So we can set an example with those in America that the world may know. They watch cowboy movies and they think, oh, you can't stop me from coming into Biafra land. You cannot. It's my father's land. Elohim, please give us Biafra. We'll show those stingy bastards where they belong. Mad people everywhere. It's only people. You cannot go and learn from Eritrea. You cannot go and learn from South Sudan. You cannot go and learn from East Timorese. You cannot learn from Kosovo. You cannot learn from Albania. You never learn nothing in America. Just make money. Every 4 years you come home. Oh, unbelievable. We must continue. They said it was Ricky squandered the goodwill of people because he was engaged in fraud when he was doing Biafra. But we are not all the same. I know that IPOB, we've come a long way. We are fighting for our freedom at the most difficult time in our history, when there is no trust and no belief. The little trust that was left was Ricky with his criminality squandered, smashed everything into the ground. So if you're asking our people to help now, it's very difficult. No matter how rich I am I going to be able to buy a tank? Can I buy an anti-tank missile? Can I, as one person, buy it? The answer is no. It's a collective effort. Everybody must come together. It is a collective effort. We must defend our land. This is not the time to be hiding and speaking. You can see the front. They carry their own AK-47 in the open. They carry assault rifles in the open. It's not hidden. So what are you telling me? Let's talk under the table. What are you talking under the table? They are in our villages with guns. Can't you see? Are you blind? Are you people blind in America? Are you that blind? You want me to beg you to speak nicely to you before you can rise up to defend your land? Are you not foolish? So in the land you're in, when George Washington was fighting the British, they were begging people. There was something I posted about taking an oath. Adams formed a secret society. They took oath in Massachusetts. You know what their job was? To kill saboteurs. Every Sabo, if you're not with them, they kill you. That America you're enjoying it, that Massachusetts you're in now, driving your Lincoln Navigator, your big Jeep. That was how they managed to get rid of the enemy and build a civilization that the whole world is proud of. But you're in America, you learn nothing. This week, remember those who sacrificed their lives that we may live. There will be no movement on the 30th of May until at least 12 noon. There will be a candlelight procession. There will be fasting and prayers. We are going to read from Psalm 1 to Psalm 150. Prayer and fasting for 4 days. Represented for market days, starting from the 27, 28, 29, and ending that very fasting and prayer exactly 12 midday on 30th. I remember what our sister wrote. Her name is Mercy Carlo, because when I quote people, I must give them credit for it. She wrote this very brilliant piece. She wrote about trust and test, trials, temptation, and how fire purifies gold. He said, these words are for men who have proven themselves worthy. Such men, this is from a woman. You know, that's why I said that Biafra is a motherland. It's our women that can give us, should I say, they represent our moral compass as we navigate this very difficult terrain of freedom and emancipation. Let me read to you what a woman wrote. Such men don't listen to gossips. Such men are not distracted by illusions. And such men don't settle for less. We don't settle for less. Outright victory. They are moved on until they reach their goal. If you truly believe in something, I don't think anything anybody said to you will make you to renounce your beliefs. Otherwise, she mentioned my name. I would have abandoned the struggle a long time ago, because our people can be very, very frustrating. But I know they're also very lovely. It takes them time to believe in you, but once they do, once they do, once they do, there's no going back. So in a way, it's also an advantage. Maybe Americans are testing us to see how strong we are. If you know them, go and tell them that we're very strong. We are not moving. Our goal is Biafra. Our goal is not to own a car or to live in a mansion. Our goal is simply to go and get Biafra. And then after that, I'll retire and go and see if enjoyment is possible, because I have suffered enough. I'm telling you. You can never see a Christian or a Muslim renouncing their membership of their faith. Even if you insult Muslims or Christians, it makes them to become harder in their belief. If you kill Christians, you get many more converts. It's only in our own that people don't know that Biafra is a religion. The more you persecute us, the more hardcore we become. The more hardened our core becomes. It's only the flimsy ones. After 2-3 days, they run away. Oh, they give excuses. Oh, I was insulted. I don't like the way they insult you. But I'll imagine it's killing you. They're your village. And you're still championing one Nigeria. You say somebody insulted you, and because of that, you can't do Biafra anymore. But I'll imagine it's in your village. They've been killing you since 1945. And you're still in Nigeria. They were killing. St. Peter was crucified upside down in Rome. Some were thrown into drums of boiling oil, cauldron of oil in Rome, where you have St. Peter's Basilica. Peter was crucified in Rome. Did that stop you from attending Roman Catholic Church? I'm just asking. You claim you were exalted. Peter was killed. Yeshua was killed. People were persecuted. It didn't stop them. It didn't stop them. I can't be giving all these flimsy, useless, foolish excuses all the time. Before COVID-19, I was begging in America. $1 each, they said no. $1, they said no. In that account in America, do you know what they have contributed till now? $37,000 only. You know me, I don't hide anything. $37,000, that's what's in the account. But if you help, hey, they're collecting money. They give the, they give the money, or they are rich, or they have money. Only that, for how many months now? And the money is still there. How many rocket launchers can that buy you? Because you know, once you defeat them on the ground, the next thing you will see how much they do, they will take to aircraft. Britain will give them aircraft to come and start bombing us. You don't know that? That we need missiles that can bring down aircrafts. Don't you know that? You don't know that's what they're going to do? Do you know when they came to my house on the 14th of September, Nigerian army came with 2 bombers, jet bomber 2 attack helicopters, and a squadron that to attack my home. A civilian, I had nothing, not even catapult. They came to, what they wanted to do is let my men kill any of them. They would have bombed my village. Exactly what Obasanjo did to Odi. That's what I wanted to do in my village. You don't know that? So you don't know? That any contingency you're making has to include making sure that we neutralize Nigeria's air power. You don't know that? You don't know they will bomb places? You don't know? Okay, let any day they start and you retaliate. You see what will happen to you. They will send Air Force jets to come and bomb everywhere. That's what they do. You don't know that? That's what they're waiting for. They have bribed Britain. The British High Commissioner, her bag is full of cash. The US Ambassador, her bag is full of cash. They have made money. Do you think all these things happening in the zoo that they are telling their countries? Of course not. Of course not. They're not telling them. Do you think all this Janjaweed moving to Biafra land that the British High Commissioner is telling Boris Johnson? No, she is not. She is not. Do you think those in Australia are telling their people? Of course not. There was a few skirmish, Heather and they're fighting for access to water to feed their cattle. Let's see what we can do to make sure that they go into mechanized farming. That's what they're telling them. Oh, some of you, hey, Chineke. So some of you actually think that the British High Commissioner in Abuja have written a dispatch to London to say that terrorists are moving to the south. Is that what you think? Hey, people are dreaming. We are on our own. We are on our own. A government cannot act unless they get the intel on the ground. Is Trump going to trust me or trust his ambassador in Nigeria? I'm asking you a simple question. I'm not an American. Is Trump going to trust me or trust his ambassador in Nigeria? You know the answer to that. And that ambassador is saying, oh, there's nothing wrong. It's just a bit of COVID-19 here and there. They're just moving south. Don't worry, everything is okay. And Janjaweed are coming to kill us. And they have bribed every media in the world. They have... Why is somebody calling... These people are not well, you know? Why is somebody calling by this time? Unbelievable. He's not even listening. He's just calling, want to talk on the air. Just imagine. There's a lot of orientation to be done in Biafra, and I'm telling you. They are not relaying any message to their home country. That is the truth. Before heaven and earth, that is the truth. You must understand that they have started the killing. Some of you don't know, but the killing has actually started. What they are now doing is to do exactly what the Iraqi resistance did to US soldiers in Iraq after Desert Storm. You know what they did? They started to place, pipe bombs, like toys, like something you can just pick up, like a scrap metal. You don't know it's a bomb. You pick it up and you die. They have started in Owerri. This is for those who are from Owerri, who are in the US. Let me tell you, you are waiting for it to start. It started already. Bomb exploded and killed 3 people in Imo State. Are you listening? They are testing things out because their boy is in Imo. Hope most of them is there to protect them. You people don't know what is going on. 3 middle-aged men identified as Elvis Okado, Kasiem Obi Uzoma, Justice Adiemena. They have all met their untimely death in Imo State. The sad incident occurred as a result of a bomb explosion in a Eziosu community in Ugu, the government area of Imo State. Confirming the incident, in case you say it was fabricated, confirming the incident, the police public relations officer, Superintendent Orlando Kechuku, said the incident occurred on Thursday at about 2 p.m. when members of the community suddenly heard a loud explosion. They rushed to the scene only to discover 3 lifeless bodies of the victims lying dead on the ground. That's it, they have come. This is the what Mujahideen, this is what they do. It's called an improvised explosive device. That's what they use. They drop it by a street corner. You come there, children will pick it up and they will die. And you have people in America that could have helped. And they have decided not to help. They have decided not to help. What the same thing we that was how we sold our own people to Arabs first and then to white people. That was why God cursed black people in Africa. You don't know that? You don't know. You don't. So some of you don't know that our wickedness is dear me, unbelievable, unbelievable levels of wickedness and atrocities. Unbelievable. This black. Look at USA after the war. They sent money to Germany to rebuild Germany. They gave money to Japan to rebuild Japan. These are white people. They fought war with Germany, but America, under the Marshall Plan, after the war, gave money to Germany to rebuild Germany. White Europeans. Do you see why God loves them? Do you see why God keeps? Do you see why they are blessed? How about the blacks? We lost the war courtesy of Britain. Instead of them to say, oh, let's rehabilitate this after the war, as there is something called chivalry, they decided not to abandon that very code. Ask any grown-up, of course, the ones who are learned, they will tell you what chivalry means. They said, no victor, no vanquish, no this, no that, and no that. You know what they did? I want to tell you, even the one, you know that verse in the Bible, where Jesus took money from those that don't have and gave to those who already. That's what they did after the war. The little we had in Germany after the World War, Second World War in Germany, everywhere was rebuilt with American money. They destroyed our land. They think that gives money to the zoo. Nigeria comes from our land. They now came, they open your mother's purse or your grandmother's purse in the bank and take whatever is left there. And some people wake up in the morning and say they are Nigerians. Unbelievable. Things are happening if you don't know. Things are happening everywhere. There was a news that broke this evening before we came on air. There is a group now accusing the Janjaweed, the Fulani, Alamajiri, that they are the ones aiding jihadist genocide going on as we are occupied with Biafra land. People don't know what's happening in Kaduna. In Kaduna, there is wholesale slaughter. In Kaduna, Kaduna Christians are being massacred and decimated as we speak. Are you aware of that? No, you're doing one Nigeria. You're fighting for APC and one Nigeria. Christians in southern Kaduna are finished. They have the news broke this evening. Let me tell you the people that announced it. It is the Southeast-based Coalition of Human Rights and Democracy Organization, SBCHRO. They said they have alerted the world, including Western democracies where people have human feelings. You know, no matter how bad a white man is, at the end of the day, at least they have a little bit of feelings. Unlike blacks. What they are saying is that they have told the world that indigenous Christian communities, Hausa Christian communities in Southern Kaduna, in 7 local government councils, hey, they are being slaughtered. People are dying in Kaduna. People are being slaughtered in Kaduna like chicken. They have alerted the world because you don't have a country. There is no country. Nothing is happening. This is what those in America are praying for. You know that land they're eyeing in the village. There's some of them want a piece of land in the village. They're eyeing it. They are now waiting and saying, oh, have the killing started? He's in Minnesota, asking, oh, has the killing started in Olo? I want to, let me know when it started. That farm belonging to Mr. Okreke's wife. Let me see if she's dead, so I can come back and claim it, because it's in the family. A black man in America, a black man, an Igbo man in America, is praying that the Fulanis will come and kill us, so he will come back and claim the land belonging to the uncle's wife. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Some of you don't know what is happening. Go into our towns and our villages and see what is going on. Go to Oka and have a look. Our land is gone. What you are now seeing in our land is round moat of Fulani, round mud house, thatch house. In our land, that you will struggle to find a mud house, despite being stripped bare, more or less, after the war. We lost 5 million people. Those in America, it doesn't touch their heart, it doesn't touch their spirit. They are not moved. They are not moved. They want all of us dead. Go to Oka, you will see it. And these are lands being given by our people. Somebody will come as a land agent. Miyetiala will approach him. He will go to the Igwe, the Eze of the village, or the PG. That is why there is this craze now about being a PG. You want to be PG, they're looking for land to sell. Anybody say I want to be PG is because they want to sell communal land to Miyetiala. Have you wondered where that 100 billion they gave to Miyetiala, where what they're using it on? Not just to buy weapons, they're using it to buy land in Biafra land. Now you know. That is why some traditional rulers are busy giving our land away to Miyetiala. The one in Okwa, give it to Miyetiala. Obunike. Please, Amaka, publish that video. There are those in Obunike that was talking rubbish yesterday. Publish that very video so they can see it. What is happening? Publish it for them to see in Obunike. And their native doctor, their Dibia, their Fulani native doctor in Obunike, doing child voodoo for them to confuse the village. No, and they're confused. That's why they came here to write rubbish. Have you seen your people? These are Igbo, IGBO Igbo, in Obunike. Traitors. Because of money, cash. Treacherous human beings in Obunike. Talking rubbish. We'll get hold of their PG. Don't worry. You hear the story. We'll get hold of him. These are the selling land to Fulani. Fulani is we have they think that now the Ghana can come on air and preach falsehood to the world. They don't know who we are. You think I can sit down here behind this microphone that Elohim gave me and I'll be preaching falsehood? Not to say I'll be telling lies. You are insane. We'll get you. The PG of Obunike, we will get hold of you. And that day, you speak Latin, I assure you. They are selling our land. selling our land to our own killers. This is the sense of an Igbo man. Selling the land of your ancestors to those who are going to kill you. Those that killed you in Kanu, killed you in Jos, killed you in Sokoto, killed you in Kafanchan, killed you you are giving land to them in Obunike. So you're smart. You're a smart guy. You are very smart. And now Obunike is a mini Fulani emirate. They think we lie as they do. The traditional ruler is now dead. And let us warn everybody, any traditional ruler, Eze, Igwe, whatever you call yourself, if you're found giving land to Fulani, if you're found anywhere, we are everywhere investigating. Any land we go to, we see Fulani, we'll ask them, who put you here? Once they say it's the Igwe, they show us the receipt or the Eze of the land, you are finished. All of you writing nonsense. Oh, in another respect, write more now. You people are taking money to sell us. That's why we're in this mess today. Because had it was little inconsistent, we wouldn't be here today. Would have been long gone. Inconsistency. Inconsistency. I don't know what you people are doing with petty money. Chicken change. That can't change you. Nothing. What is this madness about owning a mansion and driving a car? What is that craze all about? What is that madness all about, I'm asking you? Why are you people so foolish? Transient things that are meaningless. A car and a mansion. You want to have title. Because of that, you betray your nation. You betray your people. Unbelievable. Obunike is in council are denying that Obunike is no longer Fulani land, but it is. So they think that I can lie to them. The PG is in trouble of Obunike. These are criminals. They think they're smart. They want to bring their Lagos and Abuja 419 into Biafra land. You know, doing their mago. They sell the land. I have the video. Amaka showed them the video of Obunike. Them and their useless Fulani friends, Miet Yala Irats. Because Honorable Onoche has her own in Asarok. I think Miet Yala have now even recruited people, answering Igbo names, going on Facebook and talking rubbish. Show them the video of Obunike. Mad people. Do you see the cheek, the effrontery? After stealing, they catch you as a criminal. The Obunike is in council. You catch them red-handed, selling land to Fulani. They still have the face. They still have the face to come and writing rubbish. That is a lie. They don't know we have the video. Do I look like somebody who will make an allegation without evidence? Obunike. Hey. Chubo Kadibo's home. I don't know. Abomination. That is what you get when you have the likes of Onyawodo in charge. He doesn't know our culture. He knows nothing about our way of life. Absolutely nothing. People are selling land to Fulani because they're all compromised. All of them are compromised. All of them. Compromised. And these are the elders one you want to respect. Hey, stupidity is a disease. It's a disease. And let me tell you why. People don't understand us when we speak. This evening, I want to prove to you that Onyawodo is in on this scam that is going on, selling our land to Fulani. You know us, we have evidence. Before I accuse anybody in my life, I have the incontrovertible proof. Incontrovertible. Never changes. These are the criminals. Hey, he says our leader. Oh, I defer to you, our leader. This man is a rogue. Oh no, Onyawodo is a criminal. I have the proof. Oh my goodness. Please, if you have it, you say, go online and check it. Ohanese issued a statement about 9 months ago. You know, sometimes they said the internet never lies. You can just go and find anything you want. Igbo miscreants, that was what he called us then. Listen. That was when Fulani headsmen were killing people. It was so one. Everywhere, massacre everywhere. That was when the governor of Enugu State called us a rock and nobody picked his call because the Fulanis were on rampage. Fulanis were everywhere, killing in. Go to a boy and see what is going on now. Oh my goodness. Go, please publish that headline. Igbo miscreants hide under headsmen to kill innocent people. The Fulanis were innocent. Igbo miscreants. Fulanis are coming and killing us. Anywhere we put up any resistance, they say, oh, they are killing innocent people. Oh. Who issued that statement? Ohaneze. Please publish that very link so the world can see it. I don't accuse people anyhow. What would I gain? I have integrity and honor. Millions all over the world believe that anything that comes out of my mouth is the truth. And it is. They know I don't lie. Ohaneze has made a revelation. This is the news, so Ohaneze Ndibo has made a revelation about the rising rate of kidnappings and killings in the southern part of Nigeria. The President General of Ohaneze, Chief Nyanwodo said, some Igbo miscreants hide under Fulani headsmen atrocities to kidnap and kill innocent people. Exactly what they asked him to say. His Fulani masters. Listen, I say if I push you, I'll show you where to fall. Everything I tell you is the truth. The same word. Word, however, urged traditional rulers, number one, town unions, number two, and local vigilantes to fish the miscreants out and hand them over to law enforcement agencies. Not to fish out the Fulanis who are doing the killings and the raping of our women, which, of course, Dave Umahi, the governor of Ebonyi State, confirmed. Dave Umahi said that they raped a woman and killed a woman in Ebonyi State. So Nyanwodo is telling us that we are the ones raping our mothers and killing them in the farm? Hey! Now you see why? Now do you see why? Do you now understand why we are angry? Why we cannot respect people who are working with our enemies secretly to come? They come and you see them in the open, you think they are normal. Oh, we don't like what's happening. We want to restructure it. Rubbish. They are their slaves. They are their slaves. You've heard it. It's there, it's online. He issued a statement. We are the miscreants, and the Fulani headsmen who are in our land are the saints. They are Saint Michael, Saint Gabriel, Saint Yusuf. They are now in our land, killing us. And instead of Nwodo to call a meeting to say what do we do to defend our land, Nwodo said it is IPOB that is doing the killing. Oh dear. Our hands are clean and we are proving it. They now want a letter. This one is the Association of Southeast Town Unions, the same group of people. ASETU. I don't know how God is punishing us. Why are you doing this to us? They wrote a letter. I'm going to read the letter. I have another letter to read. The main topic this evening from PANDEF to Abuja. I'll read it. Analyze it for you. This is a letter from the Association of Southeast Town. The worst word is calling upon to fight IPOB instead of Fulani headsmen. I'll read it for you. They are writing to United Nations from Enugu. They're in a lock-up garage in Enugu writing to UN in New York in the middle of pandemic. I want to read the letter for you. United Nations Secretary General, UN Secretary in New York, USA. The President, they wrote also, they copied in Trump, two of them. Special Advisor on the UN on the prevention of genocide. Now they know there's genocide though. On the prevention of genocide, UN. Everybody was copied in. What is the main heading of the letter? Ethnic cleansing and land grabbing agenda in eastern Nigeria. And who are the people to blame? I'll read it for you very quickly. It has come to our attention that able-bodied young men from northern Nigeria are being smuggled into the southeast and eastern part of the country in droves. This is in spite of the nationwide lockdown and all the rest of it. And they are coming from the north. So it's not IPOB, as Wood wanted to make them believe. I'm not directing a letter to UN. Do you know what I find very bizarre about the lack of trust and cooperation within our people is this? You are writing to an organization that is in America, UN, and Trump. Ask yourself, as they would do, in the Western world, when you want to go and register a charity, I'm sure even in the zoo, when you want to register a company or a charity, they will ask you, in the Western world, are there people doing exactly what you intend to do? If the answer to that question is yes, then they'll ask you to go and join those people. These people writing this, they know they have World Igbo Congress in America that is actually registered with ECOSOG and the UN. The same people that UNPO registered with in order to represent Bim Masopo was the latest fraud he was walking about with. WIC is there already. But instead of going through WIC, there is an Igbo organization in America, they wrote it on their own. We want to do our own thing as well. Do you see the problem that we have as a people? Is it clear now to everybody? Do you see the problem that we have? Instead of writing to WIC, please, World Igbo Congress, what do? We have this one. Can we synergize? Can we cooperate? How can we do this together? No, everybody wants his name to be heard. They want to do their own. Who's asset to? Do you think that UN will? Who's that asset to? What's that supposed to mean? The letter did not come from Ohaneze. It came from asset to. What is asset to? I ask you. It means nothing. But your children are there in America under the leadership of a man that is working. There's only one I've seen actually who's in WIC that has common sense, working for his people. They could have telephoned Professor Geoffrey to say, Professor Geoffrey, we have this letter. Help us. Let us calculate everything so they know we are speaking with one voice. But no, this one will write from Enugu, this one will write from Oka, the other one will write from Iguacha, one will write from Ekom, one will write from Obudu, Cattle Ranch, to the same UN. And they get all these letters and they're thinking, my goodness, are they normal at all? Now you know what is happening. Do you see how we are? Do you see the way we behave? Do you see what is wrong with us? Can you see what is wrong with us as a people? Everybody wants his name to be heard. Even if you don't have the pedigree, even if you don't have the class, even if you don't have the finesse or the grace to do the work, you want your name to be heard. Why couldn't they go through WIC? They want to, I sent letter, I signed it, my name is going to appear at the UN. In case Biafra comes. So we will say to our children, we're also part of it. That's what they're doing. Do you see how we reason and how we behave? Very, very sad indeed. We must, as a people, streamline the way we do things. There is an existing UN registered Igbo organization with an established name. That is the World Igbo Congress. Submit your letters through World Igbo Congress, they will deliver them. If you are an Igbo organization wishing to reach out to the US-based organizations, for instance, or any of this anywhere in the world for that matter, if your petition is Biafra related, you go through IPOB because we have the presence all over the world. If it is about Igbo, you go through World Igbo Congress. What is wrong with our people? Why all this duplicity? Why all this, multiplicity of organizations? For what reason? Do you see where our problem lies? They think they can do it, but they can't. And that letter will be ignored, of course. But had this letter been submitted through WIC will give them the letter and also attend UN ECOSOG meetings where they can actually discuss it with UN officials. Now you understand me, don't you? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. This is what is happening in Okwa. The telephone number is there, everything. Please, can you release the video of Okwa? Our people, Igbo people, are selling land to Fulani, Obunike, in Okwa. Everywhere. After selling land to Fulani, and the Fulani is now coming, the same association of town unions will now write to America. You write to UN, write to Trump, and say, oh, please help us. But you sold land to them. And then they want to tell you that IPOB is the problem. You should work with your vigilantes. Now, do you see it? Have you seen it? What you have done to yourself. And somebody quite rightly said, all truth must pass through 3 stages. First, it is ridiculed. Secondly, it is violently, of course, opposed. And thirdly, it is accepted as being self-evident. That's what we do. We preach the truth. You may not like it, you may not understand it, but in the end, that's what, where we are today, did I not tell you we'll be here? I told you, where we are today, that they are coming. I said to you, they are coming. You said, oh, but where are they? I said, don't worry, have they not come? Have they not come? Have they not come? I'm asking you. And when next I tell you something, you take it seriously. In a country where there is no president, there is no vice president, that is anarchy and chaos and lawlessness. But do you know what they are doing? They are busy lobbying Interpol to try and stop me. Do you know that? They want a man, this present IG of police, Mohammed Adamu, to head Interpol. Do you know that? They'll be shocked how we know. I got this information from Interpol headquarters. They said they are lobbying Mohammed Adamu. In Asorok now, they are panicking. They'll be in a state of shock. How come he knows? If I tell them what I know, I will tell them the day I'm waiting for COVID-19 to finish, the day I will do the mother of all exposés about how Buhari, let me tell them something. Buhari had his kidney removed on the 2nd floor of that hospital. I don't want to give them the name. 2nd floor, he had his kidney removed on the 2nd floor. And when the day comes, I'll educate the world. They want Adamu to become Interpol head, so they can fight IPOB. Do you see how strong we are? Obunike, you see how strong we are. Not Obunike people, please. Your PG, that is a thief. Your PG is a rogue with your dead Igwe. Your dead Igwe is a traitor. He's a criminal. He's a rogue. The Igwe of Obunike is a criminal. He's an armed robber. And he's PG. And we'll deal with them. The PG, of course. I tell you what I'm going to do before I do it. We'll deal with you. And he knows we will do so. The zoo has no president. No vice. They know it is... some of them have seen the 45-year-old boy that Aisha is now proudly parading everywhere with puffed cheeks. You can see it. That he's wearing a mask. Everybody can see it. And I'm asking you, when Buhari was alive, did Buhari take any picture with the wife? Up until the year December 2016, I challenge anybody, apart from his swearing-in ceremony the first time, show me Aisha Buhari with the dead Buhari, show me the picture. You people, you don't reason. You have no brain, no faculty, no reason. You don't reason in the black and this black people. I said, show me now. Now they are doing first family. Should I say fake family, not first family, but fake family. Show me the picture of the old dead Buhari. Show me the picture. Show me the picture, I'm asking you. And show me where. Show me where. Somebody wrote and said, traditional rulers are enticed with cows, money by headers. That's 100 billion. From Yetiala. That's where they're using to buy our Igbo. They bought the Igbo for Burik. Bought his PG. Maybe he changed a new car to maybe to Prado. He's talking rubbish. You're a thief. You think Nnamdi can be preaching to the whole world and preaching falsehood? Is that what you think? When I came on air, when they did the first broadcast, I told you that Abba Kyari was in Havana in Cuba. And I told that Abba Kyari was brain dead. They put him on a life support machine. Any day they switch off the life support machine, he's dead. I told you live on air before they announced his death. I told you also, you don't reason. I told Alamajiri that thing in Asorok will never speak. That's what I told you. Didn't I say it live on air? I said he will never speak. They said, but why? I said, I know that thing there is not even Jubril. Jubril is in Havana. As Abakari was living, the only thing that was in his, give me Jubril. They gave him Jubril. He took to Cuba. Didn't I tell you? Did I not tell you? I said live on air on this platform, this God-given platform, that thing in Asorok will never speak. That's what I said. Has he spoken? Has he spoken? Forget all the razzmatazz, Photoshop pictures. Has he spoken? They said he would speak, and I went to my Facebook page and I told them, I am waiting. Let him talk. They quickly cancelled it. So you have forgotten. You don't know how powerful we are, do you? I challenge them. I goad them. I challenge them to make mistake. You know that's what we do? We push them, or we keep pushing until they keep because of IPOB. Now Aisha is not taking picture with Buhari. They claim Aisha Buhari before 2016. Show me your public pictures with your dead husband. Bring it out. Let us see. There is none. Do you see how we roll? I told you that Elohim will break you into pieces for the sake of IPOB. I said for the sake of IPOB, God will destroy Nigeria. For the sake, do you know why? Because we hold the key. I call it the key of David. The 7 senses of David. There is a way you ask God for something. You are holding God. He will do that thing for you. David had the secret. And so do I. Elohim said you will pay a very huge price. I said I will pay anything. He said I will give you Biafra, but I will, in front of your eyes, I will destroy Nigeria. I will make Nigeria hollow. That's what Elohim is doing. For our sake. Because God in heaven knows that our heart is clear. Nobody loves our people more than the way we do. Nobody does. We do what we do because we love our people. Nothing more, nothing less. That is, I don't want to be president of anything. I don't want any contract. I need nothing from anybody. I mean absolutely nothing. Let Biafra come and retire. Nothing. I said nothing. I don't want anything. I don't want your mansion. I don't need your car. I need nothing from you. But to do the will of God. That's all. But yet they don't understand it. If I want to sell this movement, I would have sold it in DSS custody. In Kuje they came and I said no. When I came out, they came and I said no. Is it now that I'm going to betray you? It's not. You know it's not possible. My father and my mother, they're in heaven watching. And you think I will abandon Biafra? When my mom and my father are in heaven watching. Hey, please now. Please, give me a break. Where is Buratai? You know, I'm directing this analysis this evening to Obunike people that wrote rubbish. I believe in free speech. I can never harm anybody for speaking the truth. But if you harm Biafra, we will harm you. And what Obunike PG has done in Obunike is sacrilegious. Giving our land, he doesn't know I have evidence. Giving our land to Fulani. In Okwa. The same thing in Okwa. They are doing. Every traditional ruler, I will announce all your names on Wednesday with your pictures. Everybody that sold our land to Fulani, I will publish all your pictures, the land you sold with the videos. I will do it on Wednesday. So that the world may know how evil you are. We are suffering from the wickedness of those in America. And you're adding your own wickedness on the ground. Where do people want us to go? You want us to go to hell or what? You're challenging me. I told you that Buratai is gone. Al-Majiri was foaming from the side of the mouth talking about it. I said Buratai is gone. Where is Buratai today? Where is Buratai? Where is Buratai? I'm asking you.
You're playing with me. You people don't even know. Maybe because some, once you stay together, some people, they're thinking, I know him now. I told you that Buratai was running to Niger. He's gone. He's not at the front line. Did he attend his mother's burial? He's the chief of army staff. You see how Elohim is destroying the zoo. Abba Kyari is from Borno. They killed somebody, I don't know if it's a Shibaja, and put him in the ground in Abuja. Is that his hometown? You see, Elohim is wonderful. God in heaven. Elohim is fighting this battle, but there is a lesson that God wants to teach Igbo people I don't want to be a part of. We are begging him, please. There is a lesson. God is so angry with Igbo people that he wants to teach them a lesson. With the Fulani. You know that's how Elohim works. He always uses your enemies to punish you. I'm asking him to have mercy. We'll cleanse Biafra land. Once you give us Biafra, we'll cleanse everything. Because a lot of abomination. Imagine a traditional ruler. The day he was coronated, he was in the market in the village square of our forefathers to defend the land and the culture. The land he gave to Fulani. He gave to Fulani because of money. Now he's in the grave. He cannot eat the money anymore. He's the PG that's running his mouth until we catch you. Then you will know. We'll catch you. The Nigerian army that specializes in attacking civilians, where is Buratai? Nigerians are just useless. It's just when Loretta Onochie, the ex-harlot, in fact, she's a harlot, of course, human trafficker. When she gives you 3,000 naira a week for data, you're writing rubbish. Hey, yeah, this Khan, he's starting from London. From London, and Yasarok is empty. No Buhari, no Sibanjo, no Buratai, nothing. And you're still running your mouth like just to making noise. You don't know who we are. Your Asorok is empty. The day we open it to the whole world is the day the zoo comes down. Let me see the government of the world that will support such oh my goodness me, high crimes and misdemeanors. Aisha will go to prison. Aisha must go to jail. You don't know who we are. We never let go. They think if they come, hey, talk about something else now. Every time it's Buhari, every time they Photoshop. Rubbish. We stay on it. We are not going anywhere. We stay on it. That you may respect us and know that we are not like anything you've seen before. IPOB is not like anything. In your craziest dreams, you have never seen anything like IPOB before. Our madness is on a different level. As I told you before, if you want us to get to the gutter, before you come in, I'm there waiting for you already. Mad people everywhere. You blocked us, air, land, and sea. Egyptians were flying your jet. British army officers were on the ground directing the attack against Biafra land. Britain enforced air, land, and sea blockade. No food, nothing. We held that for 3 years. Talk less of now that Britain can no longer come. Okay, you're counting on the wickedness of Igbo people in America. Okay, I can understand that. They're counting that Britain may not come to help us kill all of you, but your brothers in America, they are so wicked that we know they're not going to help you. But Biafra will come, and every aircraft landing from America will park it one side, under the sun, one side. Now, all those human rights groups in America that will be complaining, but there is a stranded aircraft in Biafra full of American citizens, start complaining from now. Because those your citizens, they are wicked. A plane will land because the first airport we have in Biafra is Uli. For symbolism's sake, that is where the first aircraft will land in Biafra. Once it's landing in Uli airport, once they say from America, we'll park it to one side. Some will be deported back. Biafra land, you are abandoned in a time of need. You want to come back. I come back and do what? All of you that believe in researching and specializing in rubbish, I hope all of you can see the wickedness of Igbo people in America. I hope you can all see it. You can see it now. You can see how wicked they are. That Fulani are in our villages. And they are waiting for us to call a party for them so they can dress very nice and come and display. Igbo people. Igbo. IG. When the time comes, they will be the ones to complain the most. And we will deal with them. And it is that time, believe you me, that they will know, we are going to fight you now. We are going to buy weapons and start to fight you. But now, they will not fight you. They will not come now. It is when we have secured Biafra and use, they will buy, that time you will come. The Jews did it as well. You see, our brothers in Israel, you know, we are the same people. The same thing. Jews in the same America, before Goldamer went, they petitioned them. They said, no, that Ben-Gurion cannot do what he's doing. You cannot make Tel Aviv the temporary capital of Israel. No. We want, it's either Jerusalem or nothing. You know what they did? They never gave arms to Ben-Gurion. But they went and bought arms to come and fight him. Not to fight the Arabs. No. Jews in America contributed money, bought weapons to come and fight their own people. Come and fight them. Not to fight Arabs. The same thing will happen now, and we will kill all of them. Go and bring it and come now. You think because you're in America, you watch Rambo, you think it is Rambo. You go and come, we'll teach you a lesson. We'll show you that wickedness doesn't pay. That's your wickedness now in America will never pay you. And all the Sabo can never come home forever and ever. They can never come. Sabo can never come to Biafra land. If you like, if you're escorted by 10 amnesties, you can't come home. Mad people like, where is Buratai? And you're playing with us. Because I know them. We went to primary school together, secondary school. You don't know who we are. We are IPOB. I'm not Takwada. We are IPOB. Ask our enemies, they will tell you. Mad people everywhere. It was one Nigeria that cost us. I'm going to read a letter to you, an open letter from those that call themselves Niger Delta, from PANDEF. I watch them. These days, when they want to mention Niger Delta, there's a type of, their tongue will be vibrating. They are no longer sure, because that is the height of stupidity. Once you say you're a Niger Delta person, you are an idiot. A complete and utter idiot. You are an idiot in the morning, an idiot in the afternoon, an idiot in the evening, and I'll prove it to you why you are a complete all-rounded fool. Nothing like Niger Delta. If you say Ijo, I will understand you, I will respect you. You say Urohbo, I will respect you. If you say Isoko, of course, fine. If you say you are a BBO, you effick, you Oron, you anag, I respect you. But to open your mouth and say Niger Delta, it means you're a fool. You are raised in the zoo. You're a zoo animal. Your brain cells are not functioning. Not well. We must proceed. They wrote a letter from PANDEF. I call them every ethnic group, they have their own flavor. They say, oh, they're the elders. I say, you're talking rubbish. When you hear Aya Deben just speak, you will know. You will know an elder is speaking with authority. Asking them, come back and protest on the street. We are here. We do it. When you hear a genuine elder concerned, you will know. Go and listen to what they were saying. A man I respect immensely, but Yoruba people won't write about it. Aya Debanjo, and of course, I hope that this other young boy coming up in America, that he remains consistently consistent. He may inherit the mantle of Aya Debanjo. They wrote a letter from Niger Delta. They wrote now they're writing letters. The same reason why they hated, of course, maybe they may have good reasons of hating an Igbo man. Let us go and see. Because Edwin Clark was a traitor during the war. He was a saboteur. The head of PANDEF was a saboteur. Sabo. You know how Fulani, they know how to arrange to play their game. As I told you, that's why they put Opusodema there. To play the game of getting them a loyal Ohanese President General come December of this year. Edwin Clark was saboteur. They bought him with ordinary Federal Commission of Information. He became useless to his people. Even at his old age, he cannot repent and say, God, forgive me if I have sinned against your children. Edwin Clark. He's now a letter writer. He's writing a letter. Let us read the letter for you. NNPC appointment. Now they have woken up that there is nepotism. Now that Jigawa actually owns the oil in the southern part of Biafra land. Now they know it. Now it is very clear. But these are the same people that told you an Igbo man is your problem. Have you forgotten? These are people that told you, oh no, Biafra is bad for you. And I kept preaching to you, telling you, the reason for that is because they want oil and gas. You never listened because you're deaf. The same thing, all of you are the same. All Biafrans are the same. Igbo, Ibibio, effick, we are all the same. The same character. The same bad character. The same bad character everywhere. You're not writing letter. And let me read the letter for the. You're writing to Buhari. Does Buhari exist? Is there any Buhari? That thing that you saw today in a picture with Aisha, is that Buhari to you? Does that look like Buhari to you? I'm asking you a question. Is that Buhari? Does that look like Buhari to you? The answer is of course no, it is not Buhari. Because Buhari is dead. Long gone. All of you are grown-up men, old men, all deceiving themselves. Nobody can speak the truth, all deceiving themselves. If not for a brave Igbo woman, Dora Kunyili, they would have done the same thing with Yaradua. They would have gotten a mask, told you all manner of rubbish. Yoruba papers will defend them, and the impunity will continue. Dora Kunyili said no, and she paid with her life. She was poisoned. And you want me to respect you? Dora Kunyili has my respect. There's a letter from PANDEF to a group of Efulefu writing to Abuja, addressing, I'll read it for you, addressing the continued injustice against the Niger Delta people. Who are the Niger Delta people? As he's talking this rubbish, he doesn't know that Abia and Imo are part of Niger Delta. Are you aware of that? Are you people aware that Abia and Imo is part of Niger Delta? One morning is the Niger Delta. They say, oh, it's a Niger Delta affair. Igbos are not welcome. But according to official government papers, Ondo State is also Niger Delta. Imo is Niger Delta. Abia is Niger Delta. They both have oil. Are you following? Do you see the brand of stupidity and idiocy they exhibit in the zoo? Do you see why Nigeria is a zoo? Where people with degrees, they read abroad, they went to Cambridge, Oxford. The same kind of Oxford that everybody went to, they come back and their brain, for some reason, goes into a reverse because of their day-to-day dealings with Alamajiri. You know, Alamajiri will contaminate your brain. Let us read. The lopsided appointments in NNPC and ISO, they're not writing a letter. If it is people who are united as one block, one eastern block, or should I say one southeastern block, one people, one Biafra, you go to Abuja, what do you think they'll do to you? Nothing. But you cannot do it. The reason why I cannot is because they are the ones that put, because if Edwin Clark talks too much, they bring out his file, how he betrayed his people. They have all their files. Ask them what they can talk. Ask yourself, why is Nyawood not complaining bitterly about Fulani presence? Ask. They will tell you. Has Wazirika condemned the Janjaweed in our land? Before they said he will first of all take permission from Al Mustafa and Miyeti Allah. Please don't, I'm going to say something, don't mind though. I don't want people to think that what Kami is saying is true. Let me just say something. That's what they do. And you think we cover up that nonsense? No. Biafra is going to be a very transparent society. Very, very. Firstly, we wish to extend our deepest condolences to you. These are people writing against injustice. This is how they open the letter. Firstly, we wish to extend our deepest condolences to you on the passing of Malamaba Kyari, your late chief of staff. We supplicate the Almighty for the repose of his soul and the souls of all our countrymen and women who have died as a result of coronavirus pandemic. We commiserate with the families, and these are people writing against injustice. So this is just the first paragraph. Oh dear. While we wish all who are currently undergoing treatment speedy recovery, it is our hope that government and all citizens will take even greater responsibility to stem the tide of, let me go to what they're saying, they're talking rubbish, as usual. As usual. Talking about Malamaba Kiari. Mr. President, the leadership of PANDEF, Pan-Niger Delta Forum, whatever it means, has in the last 2 months again been inundated with complaints over the continued seemingly deliberate and calculated sidelining of indigenes of the Niger Delta region in appointments and redeployments in the Nigeria National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC. When you ask them, why do you hate an Igbo man? They say, oh, he's domineering. Now I'm asking them in English language, what is it that Fulanis took over NNPC? What is the term for it? It's not domineering. No, they're everywhere. It's not domineering. But Igbo man is domineering, yes. But why not Fulani? No, because he's a hey, Niger Delta idiocy. You know, that when you betray your people so much, you keep betraying, you become useless to even yourself. That's what they have done. I say what I say with facts and figures. You are writing a letter. You're calling yourself a Nigerian. What Nigeria has done to so-called Niger Delta, the bombing of Udi, the invasion after invasion of every head of state. Is it comparable to this thing you said the Igbo people did to you? And what are those things? You can't say. Can you? No. The reason why you're answering Delta is because you want to remove yourself from an Igbo man. That is the reason why. Yes. Are you having fun with one Nigeria? If you prefer Nigeria to Biafra, why then are you writing a letter of complaint? So do you seriously think that in Biafra land, every position in our oil sector will be taken by the Igbo people? Is that what you think? In a Biafra where you control the resources in your own land, everything in a Ijaw land belongs to Ijaw people. Everything in Isoko belongs to Isoko people. Everything in urohbo, the same. Everywhere. You abandoned all of that because of your inferiority complex and stupidity and the blood of betrayal. In your bone marrow is betrayal. You ran to Fulani. Now they have dealt with you. You are now begging, writing letter. I don't have time to read all this rubbish. And these are intellectuals. Intellectuals, my foot. You are placing advertorials. Let me read it for you, please. These are the people that you love, you want to be in one Nigeria with. Group Managing Director, NNPC. Group Managing Director is Melekolo Kiyari. Not an Igbo man who are dominating them. You want to dominate us because of our oil. You want to come for Biafra because of oil. How stupid, how insane people are. Who is in charge of oil? Who is in charge of oil, I ask you? It is a man called Kiyari. You see, Fulani, as Lugard said, they are spendthrift. They know nothing, their brains are empty. They move cattle, they procreate, and they spend money they don't have. Have you seen it? Why they need to place their people in key positions. Who is the finance officer of NNPC? Umar Isa Ajia. Is he an Igbo man? No. Who is the chief operating officer, gas and power? Yusuf Usman. One Nigeria with Niger Delta. Are you enjoying it? You're one Nigeria? Are you having fun? Edwin Clark, you are a betrayer. Are you having fun with your one Nigeria now? Who is the chief operating officer, corporate services? Farouk Garba Said. Is that an Igbo man? This was the nonsense they told you. They fed you with garbage during the war. Fed you nonsense. They dress like Biafran soldiers. They go to villages. They commit atrocities. They say, oh, Biafran soldiers came and killed us. You see, which is a lie. A capital lie. Now, have you seen it? Now, have you seen it? I'm asking you. Betrayers in Niger Delta. Anybody who calls himself or herself a Niger Deltan is a saboteur. Sabot to the core. You are a betrayer. I tell you the truth. Here is the evidence. Who is the chief operating officer, refining and petrochemicals? These are the magic that didn't go to school. They have no doctors, but they're everywhere. His name is Mustafa Y. Yakubu. Who is the corporate secretary? It is Hadiza Wai Kumasi, all Arewa Consultative Forum. All of them. Omar Farouk Ibrahim, Kalamu Abdullahi, Ibrahim Brema, Bala Wunti. I thought they said he was. In fact, Yoruba, where are you here? Yoruba, I find not a funny friend, are good people. Yoruba of Timumbu. Timumbu, where are your people here? Yoruba. Do you see what I said? They prefer to serve them. I don't know. Is it something in the suya? There was something in the suya you eat. Once you eat it, you become stupid to the Fulani. Who is the governance risk and compliance? Ibrahim Brema, Balawunti, Inua Waya, NMPC shipping, Musa Lawan, Maso Sambo, Lawal Sade, Malami Shehu, Muhammad Abba, Abdul Kader, the whole NMPC Alagoba, the whole NMPC. This was the NMPC in the clip that got me upset this morning, where our people, our own people, John, ikwere, we are saying in Igbo, we don't want any woman to come back to NMPC to work. I have the video. Now I'm asking you, do you see how looking works? Now I'm asking you, you are from Ikwere, you are from John, you are from Urohbo. Are you in NMPC top echelon? No. Have you seen it? This is an example that treachery never pays. Betrayal is not good. When you betray your people, you suffer the consequences. Have you seen it? That betrayal is not good. You call yourselves elders. See it now? Edwin Clark, when you were sabotaging Biafra, when you accepted ordinary commissioner for information to be close to Fulani, so you'll be the only cock growing in the village, you'll be the only rich man. Have you seen the result? Edwin Clark, as old as you are, okay, so have you seen the result of your treachery? Have you seen the result of so-called Niger Delta betraying Biafra? Have you seen your punishment? Have you seen it? Have you seen the pollution in Ogoniland? Have you seen, do you know what is happening right now in Bonny? Are you aware this evening what's happening in Bonny? You know all those fishes that were killed due to poisoning. People ate it and they are dying. And IPAB members are involved. In Bonny right now, people are dying from eating contaminated fish. Are you aware? These are people that we are lied to. Your own flesh and blood, your own brother. Somebody came from Futajalon, from Mali, traveled with cattle, with Nama, came to our land, and told you that your own flesh and blood is your enemy. You accepted. You think God won't be upset with you? Is that what you think? Do you think you are foolish? It's all Fulani, all Fulani. All of their families are there, Kumasi, Agiyadi, all of them are out there, all of them. And you ask yourself, are the Fulanis the best petrochemical engineers you have? Of course, the answer is no. But you see them. That's why they want presidency. It's our turn. It's our turn. Every year is their turn. Because of this, they produce nothing. They contribute nothing to the economy. They are as useless as a used tissue. Absolutely rubbish. That's why they want power. And who made it possible for them? The traitors that call themselves Niger Delta, you can see it. Anybody who calls him or herself, once they open their mouth and say Niger Delta, they are traitors. These are hardcore traitors. I want the light to be shining because we're remembering those that passed. We must honor and remember them. Must honor them. Very, very important. We must honor them. NMPC is gone and they are begging. The oil producing, listen. They said the oil producing zones. I'm reading this part for those idiots that call themselves Niger Delta that say you want our oil. I want to read, this is from PANDEF, from the arch traitors themselves. They said the oil producing zones of the south, southeast, and southwest. Oil producing. So now you agree that southeast produces oil. And who are those in the southwest? They are people that our own flesh and blood, our land that was given to Ondo State. There are Ijo people there in Ondo. And they will come with us. His son is in Ondo because of oil well. They drew the boundary to put our people inside Ondo, because of oil well. That's how they say southwest. If you hear southwest, you think that everywhere in the west is full of oil. No. It's our land that they gave to them. But we don't mind. As long as they come back. And we'll give them oil and gas for free. We're not doing anything with it. Oil and gas is the mainstay of lazy people. Is the mainstay of the economy of very lazy people. We are not lazy. We are not. Elohim built Radio Biafra television from nothing. From nothing. So we are creative. We know what to do. Not oil and gas. As for economy of people who can't reason very well. Typical rentier economy. Now they agree that Southeast produces oil. Are you here? Oil people, can you hear me? Those saying you want me for my oil. Can you, from PANDEF, they've actually agreed at last that Southeast actually produces oil. And most of the oil comes from Southeast and gas. They just pipe it underground because no ship can come there into the hinterland and take it to the shore and they'll just ship it to the coastline. Simple arithmetic is lost on them. Tomorrow now, one idiot will write from somewhere in Arugungu and write rubbish. You Biafrans now, take your 5 states and go. I say you're a fool. Opobo is Biafra, isn't it? Don't they speak Igbo in Opobo? Is there anybody in Opobo who doesn't understand Igbo language? Is it not Igbo? I heard somebody mention saying something today about Edo. Edo, you are in Edo. In Edo, Biafra wants to come into Edo, and I'm just laughing at them. And I said to the person, can you confirm to me that Ishan women, Ubaji, that's their name, not Ishan. Ishan women, do they tie 2-piece wrapper? I said, yes. I said, of course, they're Biafrans. They said, oh, they're in Edo. We Edo. I said, no. Igodomigodo is different, not Bini. I went and did some research. The proper name is Igodomigodo. They are calling them Niger Delta now. Their proper name is Igodomigodo. That's the proper name, not Bini. Bini is not the proper name. Igodomigodo is the original name. As I kept researching, Igodomigodo means the key that opens the key. You understand that? And Igodo is what we call key in Igbo land. I'll get to that later on. I'm just trying to let them understand that we know history. We know the history. The name is not Bini. The name is Igodomigodo. Go and research it very well. And then to English Encyclopedia, for those who don't know. We'll proceed. Now they agree that Southeast produces oil as well. NMPC board, it has been every time, only Fulani Janjaweed all over the place. Fulani Janjaweed have taken over. Now they are complaining. Akwa Ibom produces the largest amount of oil, followed by Delta, Rivers, Edo, Ondo, Imo, Abia. That's how they are. And oil production in the north is 0%. You're complaining. So when you are betraying Biafra, you didn't know this is the answer. All a Fulani man needs to do on the advice of the British is to divide you into two. Once they divide you, you keep saying you want us for your oil, they are sucking the oil themselves, eating everything. So when you complain, it's like pouring oil on the back of a tortoise. It doesn't make any sense. You can complain from now till the kingdom come. You complain and you go and sleep. What can you do? Nothing. When you were betraying Biafra, I didn't know. You're telling me that an Igbo man is so wicked that should they be in charge of any government that they will make sure that I'm telling you, somebody from there will come up and say, this is not good. We won't have it. You call yourself Niger Delta. Niger Delta of where? Of Nigeria. Look at the result now. Because I have no shame, no class, no dignity, no self-value, no worth. Keep on deceiving yourselves, calling yourselves a useless name that has no meaning. They'll be goading you. Fulani will be. Look at the Fulani treating you like a child. Goading you. Who said they're not Niger Delta? They're Niger Delta now. What is the meaning of the name? You can't tell me. You are from Niger Delta region. And you think these are our people? No, they are all Alamajiri on 3,000 a week to writing rubbish. That's why I'm very, very glad with what IBB family is doing in Bayelsa. They are doing marvelously well. They copied everybody here. They CC'd everybody. They copied Senator Ahmed Lawan, Femi Bajabiamila, Ovie Omo Agege, Chairman Senate Committee. Everybody was copied in. This is the thing about these people that I don't understand. Listen carefully. You see this PANDEF, why I hate them with a passion. You see, anybody, I told you before, if you call yourself Niger Delta, you're a criminal, you're a rogue, you're a thief. Check it out, God will punish you. God will punish you. Do you know that PANDEF wrote a letter? In that letter, they said that South is oil producing. Is that correct? But now, listen very carefully. When they were sending out the letters, there is no Southeast governor copied in. Let me tell you those they copied in. They copied in all their Fulani masters. Odom Emmanuel is there. Diri is there. Bayelsa State. Ayade is there. Cross River State. Okowa is there. Delta State. Obaseki is there. Edo State. Wow. Wike is there, of course. River State. How about the governor of Imo State? Not there. Albeit from Federal High Court in Abuja. How about the governor of Abia? He's not there. But they copied in every other governor they claim produce oil. And this letter is coming from our own flesh and blood, fellow Biafrans. You see what shame has done to them? You see what shame causes? Out of shame, all of a sudden, PANDEF cannot copy in as a state governor, but they copied in, what's it called? Every other governor that has, they claim produce oil. Non-FIMO. You know, when you commit a crime, you begin to, you become ashamed of yourself. That's what they're doing. And I'll be on this case of Niger Delta. As long as you call yourself Niger Delta, you're an idiot to me. I don't regard you as a human being. And the more you remove yourself from Biafra, the more Fulani will deal with you. They will deal with you. I pray that we conduct a place beside, and majority will say, oh no, a joy is not here. We want to go with the north. They will colonize you. They will subdue you. They will use your mouth to drink contaminated water from oil head. Useless set of people. You think I'm here to pet idiots? Think I'm here to massage the ego of fools? You must be doing. Look at what I'm doing to you. Or out of shame, you can no longer say, oh, let me copy in Abia State Governor. Or copy in the Supreme Court Governor, who opposed to them of Imo State. You couldn't. You can't. You can no longer do it. Out of shame. Now you know that betrayal doesn't pay. Now you know that betrayal does not pay. If you keep betraying people, you will lose. That's what's happened to you. Shame on all of you. Let me see the useless mouth you open to tell me about Niger Delta. We Niger Delta. Who is Niger Delta? I'm asking you. Who the hell is Niger Delta? Shameless people. Shameless idiots. Who the hell is Niger Delta? I'm asking you. Define Niger Delta for me. What does it mean? It's like a U. Ogoja is Niger Delta. Ogoja is Niger Delta. People are mad. Insane people everywhere. And somebody wrote in a newspaper, a civil rights group, human rights writer, is now everybody's waking up. You are giving all the positions to Fulani. If it's an Igbo man who is in charge, who is the president of Nigeria, and you give, hey, remember, Yoruba said the reason why they voted for Buhari was because they didn't have any presence in the government. Not minding they had positions there. Not minding. What time is it, please? The time now is 10 minutes. We've gone for nearly 2 hours. Unbelievable. I didn't even know that. And it's holding up very well. Do you know that Yoruba said the reason why they did not vote for Jonathan was because there was not enough Yoruba in it. But now, what is happening? The device they have is missing. Is it not missing? Is it not missing? In fact, they are collecting money. I think it's works. Is it works, mines, and all the nonsense? They are now happy in the government, and the poor people are suffering. There are poor people everywhere, even amongst the Fulani Alamajiri. Instead of all these poor people to sit down and say enough is enough every time, oh, respect the elders, but the elders are the ones killing us. They are the ones killing us. They are the ones selling our land to Alamajiri. They are the ones now begging. After betraying Biafra, you are now begging for Fulani to have mercy and maybe give us one position now. And they are not dominating you. So then when it comes to you, boy, you start running your useless, unable to be talking rubbish with your useless mouth, stinking mouth. You're talking nonsense. Niger that about walk, mad people everywhere, idiots. They have taken, Fulani has taken up everything. Now you people have woken up. Everybody's now shouting, Fulani this, Fulani. So you never knew that before? You never knew that before? Or you are too hopeless and too stupid to understand. These Yoji black people cannot reason very well. You can't reason. There is an opportunity now to correct everything. The opportunity is there to fix everything. Once it is out in the open that Nigeria has no president, they can no longer hide. When is that boy going to speak? Do you think he's ever going to talk? I'm waiting. Which software would they have that we don't have? I am asking Asorok, which software would the Chinese have that we don't have already, waiting for them? Ordinary picture. You've been trying all this while to Photoshop yourself into relevance. It's failed. Every picture you bring out, once you look at it, will tell you where the faults are. Everywhere. And as I've told you, once they issue a picture, quietly go to that picture and keep magnifying it, expand it, you will see that the face of the idiot wearing a mask will dissolve. Go and try it and see. To let you know that it's all fake. All fake. Hey, are you telling me how? Now, they think if they insult us. Oh, yeah, it's very stupid. He's a psychiatric case. They think if they say that, we'll stop. You don't know that is where we get our energy from. If I'm not a madman, I'm not an agitator. Well, is an agitator normal? When you're fighting for freedom, are you normal? How can it be normal? Fighting for freedom. In simple everywhere. These are people from the south still begging the north. One, Nahoro wrote, is a veteran journalist and activist, Peter Nahoro. He called for restructuring. And I'm telling Mr. Nahoro, you are wasting your time. There is nothing like restructuring. We are not interested in your stupid restructuring. If what Fulanis are bringing to you is not enough to tell you that you should go your own way, that means you're even a worse fool than I had thought. They say insult people. Why won't I insult you? You're a black man, you're stupid, and you want me to tell you that you're intelligent? Is that what you want me to say? Oh, he's nice, oh. I don't do that nonsense. I don't. I have no time for idiots. How can you be talking about restructuring in a country where the Fulani, a president is dead? Dead, no vice president. A woman who was not elected brought her lover into the villa. Are you people insane? Are you mad? What are you restructuring? It's not to talk about breakage. Let everybody go their way. Talk about restructuring. Let's restructure the politics. Are you insane? Some of you cannot speak very well because you are compromised. Allow us to speak because we are not compromised. Allow us to speak. We are not compromised. I remember somebody said, hey, he's been bribed by APC. You think I've been bribed by APC and I say all these things about them, they will not tell the whole world the deal we cut? You don't know that? No, some of you are too daft to be able to reason that through. I had a sip of water. Peter Enahoro, go and tell yourself and your friends we are not interested in any stupid restructuring. All the nonsense about region, 1960 constitution, rubbish. We want outright independence. We are going to conduct place beside referenda everywhere, every formation, every nation. We ask you in simple English, do you want to be part of Biafra? Yes or no? If you say no, we say bye-bye. But the day the Fulanis will come to take your land, we will not come to help you. Simple. You think we are begging? Why should we beg anybody to be part of Biafra? Why? When we know that after 6 months of Biafra's independence, you'll be begging to come in. You're begging for visa to come. Why must I beg you for what? People that resisted the whole world for 3 years. Russia, Britain, Egypt, OAU, Yugoslavia, name it. You think we'll beg you to come and join Biafra? You're insane. This may be mad people everywhere. And in the middle of all this nonsense, people are busy selling our land to Fulani. And you want me to be happy, to pamper you, to tell you you're a nice person. Oh, how nice you are. Oh, unbelievable. My happiness today is that even clans in Edo and the great Benin, I love Benin Kingdom, I've been saying it from day one. I love their tradition, I love their culture. It's Igoromigodo, of course, it's not Benin, it's Igoromigodo. I love their culture, I love their warriors. They went to war, they fought like the Biafrans, they fought the British. They fought the British very well. They are the owners of Lagos. They called it Eko. Omo is a Benin word, so to say. Igoromigodo is their name. So you don't know that? Omo is a Benin word, it's not Yoruba, for your information. For your information. And I was asking, as I was doing my research, I went and I asked, what is the meaning of Asian? And somebody said, Asian means the people of God, Umuchubu. I said, are you sure? They said it's Umuchubu. But then I did further research. I went to the map. And I now saw the reason why some Asian people said, Asian I think it's called, that they are not Asian. That their actual name is Ubiaja. And there's a place called Akahia. These are all Igbo sounding names. And then I looked at the map further, and the map is now telling me that Asian, they are called, the name is not their name, because when they accepted the name, they call them Ewu Asian. Ewu, E-W-U, Asian, Ewu, which is good. I saw it in the map, I was flabbergasted. And look at, from Asian to Ewanke is not very far. Not far at all. Unbelievable. They are Umuchukwu Umuchineke. Somebody said they are. Oh dear me. There are speakers of truth everywhere, and I must recommend them. As I said, the young Yoruba man, if he continues that way, our own Simon Ekpa, if he continues that way, and many others, which I shall go through later on. Effick is doing very well. They are the ones who are going to vote. These are the people who are going to vote. These are the people who are going to vote. And I want us, please, to accept this very fact that these people are the ones who we should be listening to. We should be listening to them. We ought to be listening to them. These are our people, and they are doing a very marvelous job. A very wonderful job. A very wonderful job. We must, as a matter of fact, listen to these people. Effick is one of them. I want to be able to assemble all their names. If I have said Maegun's diary, you must go there and listen to him whenever he's on. There is our brother Murphy Uyi Ogiso. You must listen to him. Please, Amaka, publish their pictures and their names. These are the people that tell you the truth. And I hope they remember that well. Any day they deviate, any day you deviate, you are gone. Remain on the truth, always, with no hidden agenda. I said no hidden agenda. Remain straightforward, no hidden agenda. No middleman. No no jokes. Please. And I will start from I will actually start, let me see if I can start from the beginning. There is Biafra Child. You know Biafra Child, Wachineke. You must listen to Biafra Child, Wachineke. There is Onyemachi Oba, doing a very good job. There's our sister, Tamonotonye. Tamonotonye, you must listen to her. You must listen to her. Effick, Owanobo Effick, you must listen to her. And then our sister, I watched her today. I couldn't stop laughing. Oh wow, Sophia Obaze. Hey, this one is one woman riot squad. She was. Oh my goodness, we love them. We love them, and our dear sister, the freedom fighter herself, we call her freedom fighter. You know her very well, Faith Ogala. These are the people to listen to. They are the ones that will tell you the truth uncompromisingly. Uncompromisingly, they speak the truth. And most of them are from Edo. So, Edo, there will be a place beside. If you want to join, you join. You don't want to join, you go. As simple as that. But in any case, the crown or the throne of Igoromigodo will be respected, revered, and adored always. As I've said, it's a culture that I have so much respect and admiration for. And we'll keep it that way in Biafra, even enhance it more. But we can't beg anybody. We are not in the business of begging people. Why? Please, we don't beg anybody. The whole Niger Delta nonsense must stop. If you look at the map of the zoo, it tells you very clearly that in actual fact, the southeast is in Cross River State. That's the southeast. Igbo land is the 5 states in the middle, and Anioma all the way to Ewanke is actually the east central. They are the central states in the east. And then you come down, you have the south of Biafra, which is Akwa Ibom and Ijoland. Very simple. But they keep changing. Nigeria has no north, but it has south-south. You know, there's no north in Nigeria. What you have is northwest, northeast, and the middle belt. There is no north. But in the north, there is no north. But in the south, there is south-south. Not only south, but south-south. These are some of the things that I expect people to be able to reason through and know that they're playing with us. And there is anybody telling me Port Harcourt, I will block you. I will not talk to you again. A white man cannot come from Britain to give me a name. I don't subscribe to that rubbish. I don't buy into that inferiority complex. We don't buy into it. Port Harcourt is Igwocha. If you write in IPOB and you say it is Port Harcourt, your post will be deleted. Your articles will not be published. There is nothing like Port Harcourt. Nothing. It is Igwocha. That's the name. I can't go to England, go to Liverpool and call it Port Okereke. Are you mad? A white man to come to your land and it's Port Harcourt. I live in PH. Fools everywhere. Fools everywhere. What is your name? What is your name? Igwocha. If you don't know, not Port Harcourt. Harcourt is dead. He's a man. He was a morally bankrupt, depraved man that used to sleep with little boys. You don't know that? That's the name you're answering, saying you are from Port Harcourt. Mad. Is it Igwocha? Because it's an Igbo name, you don't want to answer it. Because you're Niger Delta. Mad lunatics everywhere. We continue. Because I came across also a piece of very wonderful this evening. The names and their meaning. What are the names and their meaning? And it was written by a Guardian newspaper of all people. Are you listening to what Guardian is saying? They know the truth, but they're hiding it. And I want this thing everywhere. Just give it to Amaka to post everywhere. Open it and show them so that they will know. Mad people. You're Igbo, you're hiding your Igbo-ness. You are afraid. Maybe because of the stupidity of those in America. Because of that, I will say, oh, I'm no longer Igbo. Because the Igbos in America are stupid. I will say, I'm no longer Igbo. Nonsense people everywhere. According to Guardian newspaper, naming a child is very important in a parent's life. The name forms the basis of the child's identity. Give them the news. Your name is who defines who you are. When my kids if they go outside and they are missing, he said, my name is Nnemeka. You know where they come from. Once they open their mouth, what is your name? My name is Nnemeka. What is your name? The little one, my name is Nnabikem. You know where they come from. Not that my name is Cyril. And then the next question is, but where do you come from? Thank you, Guardian, for writing this. Guardian is one the zoo. It's an establishment paper. These are the people that support evil. But it doesn't mean when they write something decent, we cannot read it out for the whole world to hear. We read it. Naming a child is very important. It's a very important decision for a child's parents as the name forms the basis of the child's identity. Now, do you understand it? Why Port Harcourt must be Igwocha? Not Port Harcourt. Igwocha. I know Yoruba newspapers, they'll be writing Port Harcourt. You know, they're very vindictive and evil. Spiteful and evil. As Lugard said, always conniving, seditious, knocking people's head together. That's their job. Seditious. Is Igwocha? The Igbo people, according to Guardian newspaper, an ethnic group native, listen to Guardian, native to the South Central and Southeastern Nigeria. So they even know the truth. And by Southeastern, they mean Cross River. South Central, they mean all of us, all the way to Iwanke. Because the man saying Edo this, Edo that, I'm asking him, are you aware that there are Igbo people in Edo State? Do you know there are Igbo people there? So when I come for my people, I'm not coming for you. If you want to come, you come with us. Not by force. But Iwanke, Igbo Akere. That's Obemudia, because Obemudia's mother is from Igbo Akere. He took Igbo Akere into Edo, into Bini, into the court, all those things that they're doing there. The Igbo, we are not abandoning not 1 inch of Igbo land, not 1 inch. It will be abandoned. It's left for people to say we don't want to be. Then they can go. And the day they say they want to be, we delete them from memory. They can never ever belong again. So when we are coming to Edo, we are not coming for you. The idiots that drew up the Edo map, Edo State, they added our people there. Okay? They added our people there. Very important. So they know that we occupy the South Central and Southeastern. No, they know. South Central and Southeastern. It's very clear. You cannot hide it. There are some things you cannot hide. It is the truth. Absolute truth. You cannot hide it. There is nothing you can do about it. The map is there and very clear for the whole world to see. I have seen a car, Igbo land, Aniocha, Igbo. That's Anioma, Ukwane, Igbo land. Isoko, therefore Muri for information. Isoko is Igbo. You aware of that? Go and do your research. Go and do your research. Urohbo is also there, but one thing ties us together. All our mothers, they tie 2-piece wrapper, don't they? Headscarf and blouse. Something you don't find anywhere else. That is what makes us unique. So, I will say Asian, Obachi people, which is Asian. For now, go and check. If your mom, those that went to church today, if she tied 2-piece wrapper, if she did, then you're one of us. You're part of this family. It doesn't matter what the Oba of Benin says. He only has 1 vote. Oba of Benin, that I respect very much, only has 1 vote. When there is place beside, no traditional ruler will have 2 votes. There's only 1 vote. You vote if you want to belong to Biafra or not. If you don't want to Biafra, then you go. Then we'll continue our job. But the day you ask for visa, we will not give you. We must all stop this nonsense, Niger Delta rubbish and South. And I'm glad that respectable Igbo and the BBO elders have commenced very deep consultations with other clans of Biafra land. Because Biafra will never be like the zoo. As I've said, let me repeat what I said before. Biafra land can never be another zoo, Nigeria, never. Everybody will be on their own. I said on their own. You run your land, you make your laws in your local language, how you deem fit. And that local language, I don't want to, we have to make it in another effick. No. Effick people are also BBO people. Because they've been playing with us. I have the history here, and I'll give it to you very shortly. I will. But the nonsense happening at Headbridge must stop, please. And there are many, many things that the whole world needs to see. Those who are killing us and those who are supporting them. I have a letter here from Pastor Okenwa. It's an internal memo that he wrote to all pastors in Middle East region. I don't know which one is Middle East. It's our new name. This is the Yoruba church. I have nothing against the church. They can do whatever they like. I believe in the freedom of worship. Anything you want to worship is your business. You can go ahead. But this one now, our new name now is Middle East. I can see the letter here. Please circulate this very letter. Before you know it now, tomorrow they'll start saying Middle East. And we will now turn to Middle East. And you have some idiots saying, I'm a Middle Eastern. You know how we behave. Don't give us a name. Once you give us champions for that name, they will emerge. They will say, I'm a Middle Eastern. They are not calling us Middle East, according to Redeem. May the Lord be gracious to you as you continue to labor in his vine. Where the Lord has a vine in the zoo, I have no idea. But as a matter of spiritual urgency, we should immediately in our family closet raise flaming altars of intercession for Nigeria. This is where I have a problem with them. They have come again. This is where I have issue. You see them now. They know that Biafra is coming. Now, what is this Yoruba church doing? Is writing to our people because they know how gullible some of us can be. Do you see my problem with them? Saying they should erect altar, flaming altar, with firewood and I don't know what they're going to sacrifice. If it's cockroach, I don't know. I have no idea. To pray for Nigeria to be one. Do you see my problem with these people? When I speak that, they say I like Yoruba. I have my flesh and blood from there. I can't hate people. That is part of me. I cannot. But do you see what they are doing? Can you see what they are doing? Writing for because they know that Biafra is everywhere. They are now writing saying it's urgent. Pray for blood of Jesus on Nigeria. Do you see? Do you see? I won't say much. The person that wrote it is a neighbor man. He's the okay one. He is the pastor for Middle East region. No longer Southeast. I remain as you. Unbelievable. When we speak the truth, they say we are attacking Yoruba pastors and church. No, I'm not. But anybody preaching one Nigeria, asking us to pray for Nigeria, you're asking for our trouble. Pray for one Nigeria in Yoruba churches in Yoruba land, not in Biafra land. I'm now telling people right this night, any pastor, any church, any priest that says pray for Nigeria, people should walk out of that church. It's an order. They shouldn't go there again. Which Nigeria? What is the meaning of the word Nigeria? Where does it come from? The same Nigeria that took over the whole of NMPC, that people are begging, the same Nigeria I'm asking you that is bringing Janjaweed, open their borders in the north, but close the borders in the south. You people in the south, are you people that stupid? You don't reason? You have no brain? They close your borders, but the borders in the north are open? Oh God. I want to listen to this pastor. He's a Yoruba man. Let's listen to him. Hear what he has to say. He has something very important to say. I want to play it for Yoruba people. I love this man. He's Yoruba, but I love him. I love how you are Debunking. I love him. Man, any day, any time, morning, noon, and night, you call them, they stand up, they are still saying the same thing. That is what I call consistency. Those are the people that earn my respect, not those that come with the wind. When the wind blows, they change. They blow here today, they go. It blows there tomorrow, they go. No, I don't want that. I don't want that. Let us listen to this Yoruba pastor and hear what he has to say. Very, very important, please.
Yoruba land, not for Fulanis.
Listen.
If you attack back.
He's telling Yoruba.
The book of Hosea chapter 4 verse 6 says, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge.
Are you listening?
Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee. That thou shalt be no priest to me. Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God, I will also forget thy children.
Yes.
Yoruba youth, it is time for you to wake up, to form a formidable group within your localities, and be ready at any time to defend yourself.
This is a priest. These are the Desmond Tutus of this. These are the priests that I like. A priest speaking the truth, not talking rubbish. He never said one Nigeria. Please circulate this very video everywhere. Put it on my wall that they may see it. He's a Yoruba man. These are the people that I love and respect. Not those from Sierra Leone. You know, there's some Yorubas from Sierra Leone. Like the Tinubus and Okoya Thomas. They came from Cameroon. Sorry, from Sierra Leone. Let's continue.
From Fulanis and total Islamization of Nigeria, and make Oduduwa Republic a reality.
Oduduwa Republic.
Yorubas, how long are you going to remain dumb? To believe lies of pastors and governors and cabals?
Are you listening? This is a minister of God saying that, asking Yoruba youth, how long are you going to listen to lies from pastors from the Redeemed Church? For how long? Ask you to pray for one night. This is a man of God. This is a pastor, a Yoruba pastor. Let's listen. Let's listen.
Yoruba land, not for Fulani, in your localities, and be ready at any time to defend yourself from Fulanis and total Islamization of Nigeria, and make Oduduwa Republic a reality.
Yes.
Yorubas, how long are you going to remain dumb? To believe lies of pastors and governors and cabals and coward obas.
Coward obas.
Pastor Enoch Adeboye was the booster of RCCG and not founder. He was the man that derailed Christianity in Nigeria, especially in Yoruba land. I am not judging, but he created classical and modern Christians in RCCG that made many people to fall to the trap of Satan through fornications. He commercialized school churches and deviated from the way.
Now, that one is religious politics. I won't go into that. Are you listening very well? Your daddy GOs have trapped your brain as the cabal is messing you up with ganja weed. So is your daddy GOs writing to you, telling you to put up a flaming altar of Christ in the blood of Christ to pray for one Nigeria. You will drown in that blood of Christ. You will drown inside it. Check up all walk inside that blood. One Nigeria that is killing everybody. The same Nigeria that is killing everybody you're asking people to pray for. Do you have conscience at all? Is it because of the money you see how these commercial pastors, all these sons of Satan, tell their pastors. Some of them putting on bleaching. Now, like Oshibajo, so the picture released of him, you know, as I said, when they shine the floor for you, you're gone. They shine his table. It's not like a mirror. Look at Oshibajo, it's now white as Michael Jackson. Look at Oshibajo. Oshibajo is now whiter than Michael Jackson. Only heaven knows where they put him. And I still believe that it must have been him in that grave for Abakiari. I think it's Oshibajo who is there. Yoruba pastors must repent. Asarok is empty. Where is your president? I'm asking them. Where are the people making it possible for the Janjaweed to invade our land? Where are they? Are you people telling me that you're Nigerians, you're blind? You cannot see that the coffin they used to bury Abakiari, there was blood inside it. Are you all blind? Are all of you blind in Nigeria? What is your Fulani giving to you people? All of you are cowards. You do nothing. You support evil. You support evil. Whose blood is in that coffin? If it's not Osibajo, then bring Osibajo out, let us see. If you are telling me that they did not shoot Osibajo in the head and bury him and bring him out Photoshop, now Osibajo is kind of looking white, like a ghost. Bring out Osibajo to address the world and speak Yoruba. Allow him to go to his village. Let's see. Osibajo is dead. I'm telling you the truth. Because once they start bringing out, because there is no need to Photoshop a picture. Only if they want to play a game with the world. If they hold Osibajo back, they will say, oh, now the Kanu will complain and say Osibajo is dead. So at the last minute, when he wants to expose the dead Buhari and the scam going on, then we'll bring him out and say, oh, can't you see? Osibajo is alive, oh, he's been lying to you. That could be the only reason. But all the same, Osibajo, I don't know you as to be a man of light skin. Or I don't know you as a man that puts on bleaching cream. Where's the name of that pastor that put on his cream that Jubril used to like so much? That pastor, I don't know his name. He loves cream, a bit of cream, and shishin, kind of tennis. Now, I am asking them once again, where is Yemi Osibajo? Why is Boss Mustafa doing his job? Nigerians, you claim you're educated. Nigerians, you claim you are enlightened. Nigerians, you claim you are polished. You're intellectual. And Hebrew file, flat file. You carry flat file with a worn-out constitution inside it, talking rubbish. Intellectual. Where is Osibajo? Where is Yoruba? Where is your son? Unless you're in on this Jubril is now gone. Unless you're in on this Fulani fraud, where is your son? We don't want, he was in a meeting. Can't you see his picture? Can't you see his video? We want to see him outside talking to people. A live press conference. Look at the blood-stained coffin. Look at Osibajo's picture. I posted it earlier. The table is now shining. They surrounded Osibajo with so many bottles of water. You think if they're advertising table water, pure water inside Asarok, man. Look at the bottle. He's now, I don't know, he survived COVID-19. Did they ask him to start drinking water? Look, now they now use bottled water to decorate. It's the new in thing now, bottled water. He's now a bottled water man. The face mask he's wearing is up to his eyeballs. I don't think this man is alive. I'm telling you the truth. Because it won't cost them anything to bring him out. Why are they doing this thing to this man? This man is a gentleman. Why are they suffering him? Why have they done this to? Why are they doing this to Shibajo? What did he do? Who did he offend? Who? But Yoruba cannot look for their son. Very, very sad indeed. And I told you that Aisha is in charge. As for me, I have to preach. Okay, I have to preach this gospel. If I have to be here 5 hours, I'll preach tonight 5 hours. I must say what I have to say. If you're tired, you go to radio and listen. Buhari goes off and cancels appointments, approvals made by Let Kiari. Have you seen the news? Oh, Buhari did not cancel it. Oh. So Buhari is afraid of Abba Kiari. So all of a sudden Abba Kiari is dead. Buhari is now cancelling all Abba Kiari appointments, which is to say to you that Madam President is now in charge. Madam unelected President Aisha Buhari, Her Excellency. Madam unelected President, Her Excellency Aisha Buhari is now in charge. Remember those times that you saw those videos where Aisha was complaining that those in appointments, those that got power did not work for APC. Now she is putting those she feels worked for APC in the rightful positions. She is now in charge. Are you telling me that the old dictator with kidney failure, I know the exact word where he was. I know, when I get on the video, they'll be shocked. Are you telling me that Buhari was, a general was frightened of Abba Kiari, that he could not reshuffle the appointments? Now they agree. Do you see that Nigerians are stupid? These are the worst set of idiots in the whole planet. Can you actually read the news? The headline says Buhari goes tough, cancels appointments, approvals made by late Abba Kiari. So it was Abba Kiari that was appointing people. Now you know. When I told you that he was the de facto president, now in death they have confirmed it. Do you see Obunike? Do you see Obunike PG? Do you see that I don't lie? Nnamdi Kanu doesn't lie. They brought out one Yoruba idiot yesterday. He's a psychiatric. He's a psychologist. Why won't I be angry? And the psycho. You are in a zoo. Who is normally in a zoo? Who? I ask you. Look at them. All of a sudden, Abba Kiari is dead. Even the journalists, even people quoting from us, they are so daft, they don't know anything. Buhari goes tough. Tough now that Abba Kiari is dead. Cancels appointments made by who? By Abba Kiari, not you, the president. Too. Hey! Zoological Republic. Do you see why they are fighting online? Do you see why they are struggling every blessed day? Every day they are struggling. How do we stop IPOB? How do we declare Nnamdi Kanu? They Photoshop all the pictures in the world. They get Yoruba idiot from school where there is no light to talk rubbish. They don't know that IPOB is under oath. All these things, all this nonsense, you're right. You're in the UK. You're a coward. Come back. You take IP. So they think if they keep writing it, stupid, idiotic Igbo men especially will latch onto it. Is that what you think? Is that what you think? Elohim has destroyed the zoo because of us. We have destroyed Nigeria. You're not going anywhere. That idiot is there taking Eid al-Fitr with a mask, doing all that. Only in Asorok, he cannot speak, he cannot travel abroad. You are trapped inside Asorok. And I'm sure before 3 years, Aisha is still a young girl. She'll get pregnant again. Aisha is young. And in Islam, they cannot do abortion. So let me see what she's going to do. She'll get pregnant soon. Then I'll see. Maybe they'll say he's idiot in the zoo. Adeboye will say it's Holy Ghost that got Aisha pregnant. It's Holy Spirit. You know they are fools. And idiots will believe it. That small boy will impregnate you. That little boy, look at his eyes. All I told him, he will impregnate you. Your eye will clear. You want to play Marie Antoinette as a hard woman. Your husband is dead. Instead of you to bring your husband back and bury your husband, you are with your lover inside that rock. Abomination in Islam. And you claim you're praying to God. You're praying to Allah. And Allah will listen to your prayers. Because you're deceiving Christians. You're deceiving Biafrans. Because of that, somehow, God will forgive. Allah will forgive you. That's why they came. So if God will ask them, why are you doing this? They say, oh, I want to go and capture Biafra land for you. You know, they're infidels. I want to go and capture them. Where you are capturing Biafra and that boy will capture you and impregnate you. Then your eye will clear. Your eyes will clear. Then you know what you've done to yourself. Buhari goes stuff, cancels appointments, approves. So it was Abba Kyari that was appointing people. Now you people agree. Now you people agree. We have destroyed the zoo. You know, that's allowed. We have completely destroyed the zoo. It's gone. This is not for envy or jealousy. If you like as an Igbo idiot, be as envious as you like. Let that envy kill you. You can never be like us. Never, ever, ever. Buhari go. It's tough when Abba Kyari is dead. And you have degrees here. You read in Cambridge and in Oxford and in Princeton, in Harvard. Yes. Your common brain cannot tell you what is going on. So you cannot ask yourself, how come you're cancelling appointments and approvals made by late Abba Kyari when you're the president and you're alive? Oh, I know Mr. President. He's a good one. Which Mr. President or Mrs. President? Is that what you're talking about? All of you are cowards, afraid of Fulani. That's why you're betrayers. More they betrayed IPOB, betrayed me. With the governors, they betrayed me. They wanted me to be killed because I told them Fulani was coming to kill everybody. Now the Fulani has come. Now they're building a gate at a head bridge. Hey! Yoruba will say Okpare, isn't it? I say Okpare or Akari, I don't know which one is this. Okpare, I know his leg. Leg has decayed. It's not Okpare. Leg has decayed. There is also a video. Show them how they do it. Amaka, please post it. Let them see. The young Bobo with Aisha. This boy, people are busy doing Yahoo 419, asking 90-year-old white women to marry them that they're in love with them. When this boy came from no, this is not Jubilee, of course, because Jubilee is dead. Came from nowhere. He gets money, pretends to be a president, and sleeping with the wife of a president of the country. And the country thinks he's the president. He's having fun. This is proper Yahoo, proper 419. This is it. And all of you claim you're smart in the zoo, you're intelligent. Look at the pictures I posted them. Repost those pictures and tell me if that's an 80-year-old man, 80-year-old Buhari. Tell me, with double kidney failure, brain damage, tumor in the brain. I have his hospital records. Mad people everywhere. Lunatics. Is that an 80-year-old man? Is this boy 80? No wonder Aisha is shining. How long will she shine? Well, my fresh blood is brain to an alcohol in your zoo back. Mad people everywhere. We must continue. Look at the Photoshop pictures. And I challenge them, show me Aisha Buhari with dead Buhari before 2017. Get me a picture of Aisha Buhari doing lovey-dovey with the old dead Buhari before 2017. I am begging anybody to bring it. You don't have it. Idiots will do Zoom tomorrow. Mr. President is a good man. I want to direct it to Mr. President. Because Yoruba is ashamed of themselves. If I were to be a Yoruba man, they'll promote me. They'll say, how can I? Hey, Omo Igbo, we can't promote him all. You don't know that? You know this is jealousy Yoruba style. You know, Igbo, we do our own little greed, as they're doing in Ambubere greed. And Choncho, and Ubu. Yoruba, they give you the raw one. The raw jealousy and envy. They're wondering how come, out of all the people to be saying this, how come it's in Namdekan? If I were to be a Yoruba person by now, oh my goodness. You pay ticket to come and see me. You will pay to come to see me. because I'm not from them. That's why they behave the way they do. Very vindictive and evil. Not all of them. It's the media I'm talking about. Look at the picture with the coat of arms on the rug. Look at his cheeks. They're going to tell he's wearing a mask. Look at his cheeks. Look at it. Puffed out like puff puff. Look at his cheeks. Can't you see it? Nigerians, are you all of you blind? 200 million people, are all of you blind? Are you all very stupid? You cannot see? Can't you see the picture? What again I did every night, this boy? Hey! Some people are lucky. God bless me, it comes in many ways. So there's no greater God bless me than this one. This boy, hey! Some of you are going to redeem, plan to go to heaven. The boy is in hell, in Asorok. Judea is around full time in Asorok. He's living life. Full time in Asorok. And you're running around doing one Nigeria with APC. Your age mate is in Asorok. Holding down Aisha. You're busy running around with laptop. You're doing Iraq, 3K a week. You're doing 3,000. Your age mate is in Asorok. Keeping Aisha honest. And you're there doing Iraq for 3,000 a week. I believe in Nigeria. Don't go to Nigeria Delta, it's because of their oil. Your age mate is in Asorok. Look at him. Shining. Aisha is shining. Everybody is clean and shining. Hey. Nigeria is a drama, I'm telling you. One massive drama, zoological republic. And who will be there to support them with BBC Igbo? Supporting Yoruba papers, BBC Igbo. Very sad. There was something I wanted to preach this very day. Hey! There's no time. I have to make an exception. That is a very particularly important preaching I wanted to make. To let the people understand, I think I must preach it this very day. I will preach it because they have turned Debunking into another new Sokoto. Maybe as we have Katsina Allah in Benue State, we now have Sokoto Allah in Debunking. That will be their new name, Sokoto Allah. They have now given it to hey, unbelievable. But I must praise Iseluku people. I must praise the Iseluku kingdom because they have rejected Miet Yala money. They have. And the reason I'm saying this, I have to preach this gospel. I must preach it. Miet Yala went to Iseluku and Iseluku said no. Iseluku said no, we don't have it. We don't want you here, we don't want. No market, no Hausa market. No, sorry, Hausa blood are victims. It's no Fulani market. Yoruba, you are busy dividing us. You come, you say Southeast. Now we now have Middle East. We used to have East Central. The Southeast. South. Up South. Down South. East South. West South. Everything. But Yoruba people were never one people before. The Yoruba nation, you people were not one people before. Hey! I have come to Yoruba, they have cut me off. Hey! Facebook, they have cut me off. I must go back to Facebook. They have cut me off, I must go back. You must bear with me. We are live and direct. They are wasting their time. Elohim gave me a gospel to preach, and that gospel I am going to preach. I must preach it. They have cut everybody off. Because I was demolishing Aisha Buhari, and they cut me off unceremoniously. They cut me off. Very, very sad indeed. Very, very sad indeed. But I must preach the gospel of heaven. This is a live presentation. We are Radio Biafra, and humanity is paying attention. We are destroying the zoo. And the Yoruba boy in Facebook quickly cut me off. And they think I can be nice. I can't be nice to people who are evil. I can't be nice to you. Are you drunk? I can't be nice to you if you're evil. I can't be nice to you. We are going back to Facebook. We are back. They can't stop us. If you cut us off 10,000 times, I will return 10,000 times. I will preach the gospel that Elohim has given me to preach. In truth and in every honesty. I just had a sip of water. We are live. Tell them we are live on Facebook on my page. Martin Namdekanu. We are live on my Facebook page. 400,000 followers, which is nothing anyway. But that's what Facebook allowed me to have. That's the original one, the original page where you can find me. My goodness. We are back on my Facebook page to preach the gospel of heaven. I am here. David and I'm here. Ebube Chukwu favor, I'm here. Kelechi Uchen Nangobodo. What are you talking about? We are live and direct. I want to preach a gospel this evening that Elohim asked me to preach about the Yoruba race, so that they may turn from what they are doing and become good people. As I was saying before, I was rudely interrupted by Facebook. I wanted to assert with every degree of certainty that the Yoruba race were never one people before. It was due to war and conquest that made them one. A war and conquest that Igbo people never embarked upon. The Egba nation is a separate people. The Egbas are separate people. From the Oyo, from the Ijebu, separate. The only thing that unites them is the Oyo Empire. That's the only thing that unites them. And to prove it to you, as I'm telling you, just be jotting them down, be writing them down. Egba Nation, Egba, EGBA, they have their own national anthem. Do you know that? The same way urohbo has, because some of you don't know that the song I play these days, first, before I play Rex Lawson, is urohbo national anthem. Some of you don't know. I play it. If you like, I can play it for you again. Yoruba they have their own national anthem. I play urohbo national anthem every blessed day. Some of you don't know this, but I do. I want to play it again for you, so that some of you who may not know will know that we are everywhere. This is urohbo national anthem. Urohbo national anthem. Did you hear that? That was urohbo national anthem. The same way that Egba in Yoruba land, Egba kingdom, they have their own national anthem. They have the Egba anthem. I don't speak Yoruba. I would have tried to read out the words for you. But I know this one says, Lori Okeo Owun Upetele. I don't want to make mistakes, please. They have Egba. They have their own national anthem. I want to prove to Yoruba journalists that this their divide and rule is not good. It is not good. Yoruba, your divide and rule, this thing you're helping Fulani to divide people and conquer them is evil. Because at a time You were not one nation. Nobody has dug in to be saying, oh, by the man or your man. No. We respectfully refer to all of you as Yoruba. And why do you always want to come into Biafra land to divide people? Why? Oh, because you too need access to oil. I've forgotten. Alakija and Otedola. It's all oil, isn't it? Zoom. What happened to the Yoruba? What is happening to us now happened to them. What is happening today to us happened to them. Do you know that I'm going to give you a bit of history? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Hi, Elohim. Uthman Danfodio, whose grandson was Ahmadu Bello. I want to tell you why Fulani hate our people so much. I want to tell you why Fulani want to take over Delta State. I want to tell you why they are in Opanam, which the Obi of Opanam or the traditional ruler in Opanam did not see. I want to teach him tonight what he never knew. The all-conquering Fulani man that came from Futajalon. He was actually born in Gobe. His name is Uthman Danfodio, the man that said he would dip the Quran in the Atlantic. He, first of all, I will tell you what the history book says about him. I'll read. Following a jihad led by Uthman Danfodio and a rapid consolidation of the Hausa city-states of contemporary northern Nigeria, the Fulani Sokoto Caliphate invaded and annexed the Buffer Nupe kingdom. Nupe were ancient people. Fulani swallowed them. Listen, all of you talking about one Nigeria, you are preparing your own death. Go and dig your grave because Fulani is coming. The more you say one Nigeria, please God be digging your grave because all of you be swallowed up. Now listen. They have cut us now. They have left us at about 7.6K. We will continue. If you like, let it be only one person left. I will preach. They invaded and took over Nupe Kingdom. They now started to advance southwards into Oyo lands. Shortly afterwards, the Fulani army overran Yoruba military capital in Ilorin. You know, Yoruba Irans never loved it over. They never talk about Ilorin. They don't like it. And that's how to cure them. Anywhere you see a Yoruba Irat writing rubbish, simply go and take the history of Ilorin and dump it on the thread. They will disappear. You know, they are masters at deflection. If you write something now, they will never debate you on that thing. They say, oh, but you go run to Ivory Coast. If you're stupid, you follow them. Ignore them. Bring them back to the subject matter. If they refuse, after 2 attempts, you give them a Ilorin. Anything they say, you remind them of a Ilorin. Ilorin was the military capital of Yoruba people, where the Are Onokakan for wars, Afonja, their overall field marshal. It was overrun by the Fulanis. They overran it. After they took Nupe, the same thing they're not doing to us. Can you see what they're doing? The same pattern. They have the same strategy. The same pattern. It never changes. But my only happiness now is we are everywhere. The world is watching. They are pretending they don't know. I know that the British High Commissioner is covering up for the Fulanis as best as possible. The US Ambassador is doing her best to cover up all the atrocities. We are waiting for them to start. We are in our land and they came, so we're waiting for them to start. Once they start and we unleash our own madness, nobody will now say that, oh, but the Nigerians now, they are free to travel to anywhere. Are you following? Now listen. They overran the Yoruba military capital of Ilorin And then they sacked Fulani. Hi, Yoruba, why are you following Fulani? Now look at what they did to you. Why are you following them? They destroyed Oyo Ile. Fulani destroyed Oyo Ile. Today, Yoruba is following Fulani, and I'm asking why. Why, Yoruba? Why? Oyo Ile, which was the royal seat of the Oyo Empire, the great Oyo Empire, their royal seat was at Oyo Ile. Do you know the Fulani sacked them and killed them? Today, Yoruba is serving Fulani. Hey, unbelievable. Following this, Fulani so much dealt with Yoruba that Yoruba abandoned Oyo Ile and they ran south. In other words, Fulani have been chasing Yoruba into... Hey, history is very good. They have been chasing Yoruba. They sacked them. Yoruba abandoned Oyo Ile. They ran. Yoruba ran away from Oyo Ile. They ran inside. They ran... They abandoned their city. Yoruba abandoned their city and retreated southwards into the city of Oyo. Then it was then known as Agodi Oyo or Oyo Atiba. In a forest, they ran into the bush because the horses cannot come into the bush to hunt them down and kill them. Yoruba ran into the bush when the Fulanis came. Do you see why they want Biafra to be conquered as well? So instead of Yoruba to help to fight Fulani, Yoruba is helping Fulani to conquer other people because they are angry that they were conquered by the Fulanis. Hey, Eligwe, they give me a message and I give to the living. I want Yoruba to wake up. I say everything I say so that Yoruba can wake up. If you're angry, you wake up. Just wake up and do something. Look at how Fulani disgraced you. Look at how Fulani humiliated you. Chased you from one capital to the other. Anywhere you are, Fulani will be chasing you. And today you're serving Fulani because of presidency. Ordinary presidency. Hey, ordinary presidency. Oh, Fulani chased Yoruba into the forest. Oh. Hey. Man. Yoruba took carried their oba and the royal stood into the forest. They ran into the forest. Oyo and the Ileife are also different from Elijah. These are different nations bound together by through war and conquest. Yoruba was never one nation before. I never wanted to preach this very good, but I had to preach it because they believe in dividing people. You come to Ikwere land that you know is Igbo. You have Igbo, you have Nwike, you have Peter Odele, you have Chibika Amechi. You know these are Igbo names. You know these are Igbo people. But out of spite and wickedness, you want to divide us. You go to Izon, the proper name. You tell them you're Niger Delta. You forgot that most of them there are from Arochukwu. Thank you, Briggs. Are you not from Aro? You don't have Arochukwu blood in you. Don't have Arochukwu blood in you. A woman that I adore and respect, of course, immensely. I do. But I want her to stop all the whole Niger Delta nonsense. I can't stand it. Which known family in a Joe land that doesn't have Arochukwu blood? I say name the family. Name it. Which family in a Joe land that doesn't have Arochukwu blood during slavery? Name now. Give me a name. We have the evidence, you know. We have the evidence. Yoruba or your man is different from Ileife. Ileife is different from Elaje. You're different from Egba. You're different from Ijebu. I've counted 5. But why do you want to divide other people? I ask you. We must continue. Now listen very well. I want Hausa to listen. This message is for Hausa people. I am giving Hausa a message. Hausa, it is a message for you. The same way I'm giving Yoruba their own message, I'll give you yours. Let me tell you, and as I'm warning Hausa, it is also a warning for the Igbo sophisticated Fulefus in America. Are you listening? Shehu Usman Danfodio, Otman Danfodio. His name when he was born was Usman bin Fodio. I want to prove to you the link between the Fulani Caliphate and Saudi Arabia. Elohim. Uthman Danfodio was born on the 15th of December 1754. He was born in a place called Gobert. Gobert, G-O-B-I-R, is an Hausa town. Do you know when he died? By the time he had finished dealing with the Hausa people, they renamed it Sokoto. Can you believe that? He was born in Gobert. It's like somebody being born in Obunike. The Fulani is now being born. The Fulani did in Obunike. Let's say he gives birth now to a child like Otman Danfodio. That child will grow up in a place called Obunike. But by tomorrow, that place will become Sokoto Allah, as they have Kasina Allah in Benue. Can you believe that? Hey. He was a teacher, a religious teacher. He claimed he came to teach, that he knows how to teach Quran. But he was also a revolutionary. He was also a military leader. He was a writer, and wait for it, a promoter of Sunni Islam. Sunni Islam, practiced by Saudi Arabia. You see where the Fulanis get all their nonsense, their link to Saudi Arabia from Otman Danfodio. He preached Sunni Islam, and he was the founder of Sokoto Caliphate. So all these Obunike, those in Amansia, all the people you're selling land to, they will give birth to their children. Their children will kill our children, and they will rename our towns. Obunike will change. Amansia will change. Okwa will change. All the places you have sold land to Fulani, in the next 70 years, their names will be different. And that was your gift to our generation as an enlightened Igbo leader. Do you see why I hate Ohaneze with a passion? If you know what I know, you won't just hate them. If you see them, you put a knife to their throat. These are evil men. Look at what the same people, what they did to Hausa is what these idiots want them to do to us. Hey, Chineke man. He founded Sokoto Caliphate. Hausa was no longer good enough. The Hausa that was hosting them peacefully. Hausa people are peaceful people. Hausa was hosting them peacefully in Gobert, hosting them. Uthman Danfodio said he's a teacher. The Hausa king of Katsina said, come and teach my son. Never know. He didn't know he was inviting a demon into his home. He said, come and teach my children. All the Hausa kings, they said, let the Fulanis teach our children. The same thing that, let the Fulani rule, let the Fulani be Nasarok. Your lives are being wasted. Hey, the Habe monarchy was dead. Now listen, Danfodio was one of the urbanized ethnic Fula. He's a Fula people, Fulani. They were living in Hausa kingdoms, living as tenants. The same way they have come now as tenants, that's how they start. They come as tenants. They start pretending. They start pretending as tenants. Oh, dear me. They came as tenants, living in Hausa kingdoms, as they have come today living in Biafra land, some Igwe have given them land. Hell, in what is now northern Nigeria. The Fulanis came in the 1400s. He belonged to the Maliki school of Fiqh, which is Islamic jurisprudence, and Quadri. He practiced Sufism. Don Fodio thought Maliki in the city-state of Gobert until 1802. A beautiful city. A beautiful Hausa city. Gobert. Beautiful, beautiful Hausa city. They took it over. He started talking about local oppression. Do you know Alamajiri? You know, I asked Alamajiri to come with their slate and their chalk. You know Alamajiri? Did you come with your slate and your chalk? I want to tell the Alamajiris tonight listening, saying that they can, you're in London. Alamajiri, your papa, Ottoman Danfodio, went into exile. He ran to Niger Republic. Hey, he led his followers like Prophet Muhammad and ran into exile. That exile began a political and social revolution which spread from Gobert, listen, throughout northern Nigeria and Cameroon. They took everything when they came back and was echoed in a jihad movement led by the Fula people across West Africa. Fulani have been on jihad since 18-something. How did they live? Do you know who heralded their coming? The person the creature that heralded was a vulture. It was a vulture that foretold the coming of the Fulani. The prophecy of the coming of the Fulani was carried by a vulture, Udele. Udele carried their Udele. A vulture that eats dead animals was the one that foretold the coming of the Fulani. That is to tell you that they always come with death. It may not be immediate, but death will come. Death always comes. Always. Hausa, Bagi, Nupe, Yoruba. Everywhere they swept everywhere. And they always come as tenants. That is why Ubunike should be ostracized from Igbo land. The Fulani have been on jihad. What else do you want me to tell you? What else do you want me to tell you? Danfodio wrote books. He said he was developing a critique he was criticizing other Muslims that they were corrupt and greedy. And they violated the standards of Sharia law. They were fighting corruption. The same thing they are doing today. You people are dumb. Yoruba media, you are foolish. Before they take over your land, they always tell you they are fighting corruption. That was what they told the Hausa people. And the Hausa peasants, the same thing that Yorubas are doing as some Igbo people in America, they agreed. And they came, and their cultures were no more. Hey! Oh dear. Do you know his title? He was a mujahid, a reformer of Islam. These are the people you want to be in one Nigeria with. Where are those people from here talking rubbish? These are the people you want to be in one Nigeria with. You have signed your death warrant. You have signed it. And as I was also looking at the facts of life and history, Elohim gave me a message and said I should preach it. According to Encyclopedia Britannica, this is why anybody answering to Niger Delta is an imbecile. What did hey, that's the highest of the highest now. Encyclopedia Britannica, who doesn't know? I want to tell those in PANDEF, those who foolishly call themselves Niger Delta, that Ibibio people, Listen carefully, please. Ibibio people, by which I mean Anang, all the rest of them, listen. They are people of southeastern Nigeria. Encyclopedia Britannica. Mainly in Cross River State. So when I told you before that Cross River was the proper southeast, now you can believe me. From Encyclopedia Britannica. Heaven is giving me a message to give to the living. That's what I'm doing. They speak dialects of effick Ibibio, which means that effick and Ibibio are one. But I'll get to that later. But now it's how we have a tribe, so effick, I'm effick man, I'm Ibibio man. People are so foolish. Those dividing you are one, but they want you to be divided. Now listen, they speak dialects of effick and Ibibio, a language now grouped within the Benue Congo Niger branch. Now listen, the Ibibio comprise the following major divisions. Ibibio comprises of effick. So now I have proven to you tonight that effick comes from Ibibio. And if Ibibio is Ibonta, what tells you about, what I said about effick people and Nigerian? That we are all Igbo people. I'm coming. Listen carefully. This is Encyclopedia Britannica. The same Encyclopedia Britannica that in 1929 affirmed that Igbos have Jewish link. In 1929. Now listen. The Ibibio comprise the following major divisions. These are branches of Ibibio. What is number one there? Effick, Eyon, Eket, and even Andoni people. And Ibenu. Andoni. Also Anag. Because I have Anag friends who get upset. They say the people don't like us. You say you're talking rubbish. We are all one people. Anag is a subdivision of Ibibio. Ibibio is the main one. Then Anag is a subdivision. Effick is. And the proper Ibibio people are those who occupy the eastern flank. They say, are you following? Are you following? Hey, Eligwe. And what are their secret societies, as I said, of Ibibio, of Effick, of Anag, of Eket? What do they have in common? Hey, they have Ebo, Okonko. As they would say, they say this is end of discussion. Are you going to talk about Niger Delta again? Are you still going to be stupid about this Niger Delta rubbish? Have I now proven to you that effick is a subdivision of Ibibio? The same thing with Anag, Eyon, Eket. And I have told you what Ibibio means. Is it now very clear to each and every one of you who we are and why they are struggling to divide us? And why I hate any idiot mouthing that rubbish, Niger Delta. We are all one people, one family, one IPOB. Idiots everywhere. Go. And how about the Ijaw people? It's how did they come into all of this? I want to prove to people that everything I say is correct. This is continuing. We are continuing on Encyclopedia Britannica. I want to destroy this Niger Delta rubbish once and for all. That our great-grandchildren, every generation, they will listen to this broadcast. They will know that Elohim came in our time. I want to destroy them. I want to bury Niger Delta rubbish this night. I will preach to 12 midnight and belong. Even longer. That they may know that Elohim sent me. What do you call Niger Delta Pony? People that say that Igbos are landlocked. I want to tell you how stupid you are. I want to prove to you how daft you are. How psychologically inferior you are. I want to tell you that your education is wasted. I want to prove to you that you are nothing academically. Who are the Bonny people? Their original name, according to British people, Encyclopedia Britannica, the name of Bonny, which I know our brother gave us as beautiful people, is actually Obani. Encyclopedia Britannica, Obani. Go and Google Bonny, B-O-N-N-Y. Encyclopedia Britannica. I'm from Bonny. We Niger Delta people. You don't know that you migrated from my hometown in Ibeku. Obani Ibeku was where you went from. Obani Ibeku. You are in Bonny. The British people did their research. When they came, they kept digging. They said that their name is Obani. Not Bonny. Obani is there. It is a town. It was situated in the Atlantic Oil Port in Rivers State. Rivers State. Obani Beku. It lies on the Bonny River. The British called the place Bight of Biafra. Bight of Biafra, Britannica, Encyclopedia Britannica. A trading center for fish, for salt, for palm oil and palm kernel of the Ijo people. Now they have come in. Ijo people. One. Obani people. Ijo people. Encyclopedia Britannica. It was one of the largest slave exporting depots of West Africa. As I told you, Arochukwu was worshipping idol. They were selling people. People would send their sons as priests to go to the temple to go and study the holy word of Elohim. They will sell them. And I want to prove it to you tonight. Not the word of a black man. Encyclopedia Britannica. It was the largest slaving export depot in the whole of West Africa in 1970. About 20,000 people. Most of them in Igbo. Most of them in Igbo. And other hinterland groups were shipped to the Americas, Caribbean and USA. Igbo. So when you see Denzel Washington, you see Blair Underwood, you see, what's his name again? I've forgotten his name. The guy that played Idi Amin. What's his name? Hi, I don't know. It's old age. I don't know become. Old age is disturbing me. What's the name of his name again? Forest Whitaker. Igbo. 20,000 people were being shipped to the Americas from that port. The people who were king, there's somebody called Pepple. The Pepples were kings then. When the white man decided to end slavery, our people were not happy. You see, this whole Niger Delta didn't start today. Hey, there are people that want us to remain slaves at the hands of foreigners. The Pepple family. Pepple white, Pepple brown, Pepple green. They were getting money from slavery. So that when the white man said, no, we want to end slavery, they said, no, we want to continue. They were angry. They were writing petition to the King of England. Please, who sent it? We want to continue with our slavery. Selling their own brothers and sisters. It didn't start today. This whole Niger Delta rubbish didn't begin today. To sell our people. Now they can no longer sell people again. They want to sell our future and our children to the Fulani. Now you understand. I want to bury the whole Niger Delta rubbish. Come here, Nand. Unbelievable. They were selling our people. The Pepper family, they said, no, we are not happy. We want to continue selling our people. But Britain came and conquered them in the 1850s. And as the white man said to them, stop selling your people. Instead, sell palm oil and palm kernel. Stop selling your people. That's how they stopped. Hey, Niger Delta, my foot. Oh dear. We are all one people. Oh dear. Let me now shock you. Do you want to be shocked with this whole Niger Delta thing? I want to shock you to your bone marrow. So that tomorrow morning, when an idiot from somewhere in Abuja or Lagos answering effick or Robert talking nonsense, you're talking rubbish. I want to destroy all of you and your useless arguments tonight. That's what heaven asked me to do. The Ibibio people, just simply Google it. It's on Wikipedia. Ordinary Wikipedia. I said ordinary. Go and Google it. As I'm talking, you Google it. Niger Delta. Any idiot. If I say you say I will put my 2 fingers in your eyes. You're an idiot. Once you say Niger Delta to me, I will push my fingers into your eyes. You are an idiot. A complete idiot. You claim you went to school. You can ordinarily Google. Go and Google it, Bibio, and follow me as I preach this gospel. It's what when I'm very upset, honestly. The Bibio people, listen. I've explained to you before from Encyclopedia Britannica that the Bibio is comprised of effick, anag, everybody. Ibibio. Forget the dialect. It's rubbish. Ibibio. And who are the Bibios? Ibonta. I'm coming. This is just simply putting Ibibio people in Google and follow me. The Ibibio people are a coastal people in southern Nigeria. Yes. They are mostly found in Akwa Ibom and Cross River State. Okay. And on the eastern part of Abia. What's it? Abia is coming. They are related to the Anag Igbo. Anag Igbo. Igbo Anag. For the first time, Anag and Igbo, one word, Anag Igbo, is there. Is there. And the effick people, that we are all related. Anag Igbo, effick, it is here. It is here now. They are all related. They are brothers and sisters. Before I did this research, Elohim gave me this revelation way back in 1998. I couldn't prove it. I tried, I couldn't prove it. Now it is here. That we are all right. Are you telling me that all these eaters they don't go online? It is here now in black and white. Who are the Bibio people? They are coastal people of southern Nigeria. They are mostly found in Akwa Ibom, Cross River State, and in Abia State. They are related to the Anag, Igbo, and effick people. We are all one people. This broadcast will be saved forever and ever. So that wherever idiots are gathered and saying Niger Delta, you play it for them. Oh dear me. And who are the ikwere? I you see how I'm dissecting the whole of Niger Delta. I want to bury the rubbish. So that anytime somebody says they are Niger Delta, you know that that is the enemy. That immediately, that is the enemy that the Fulanis are using. That is the enemy. Do you know our sister Nena Yanya? Some of you know her, don't you? Do you know her middle name? Her middle name is the Biblian name. Ine. I-N-E. Nena Yanya, some of you know, Madam Nena Yanya, Sister Nena Yanya. You don't know her middle name is the Biblian name? Is Ine. Arochuku. Abia. The same family. According to researchers on Wikipedia. Is it clear now? Now let me go to my own people. I was in Ikwere, I was in igbos, Port Harcourt. I was in Ikwere, I was living in Diobo. I think it was my 2 or my 3, I've forgotten. You know, I came to Iguacha. I was staying with my cousin and her husband to go to SBS, Dance School of Basic Studies, in Omuala. I didn't have any friends, but I used to go to their compound to go and play with them. I'll never forget. In Diobu, I'll never forget. Now, Ikwere is dear to me, a place I love very much, because it gave me so many beautiful memories, so many beautiful memories. I want to read you who the Ikwere people are. So we have now circled the whole of Niger Delta. We've dealt with Ibibio, effick, anag, everybody. I have dealt with his own. Now let me deal with Ikwere. So we can put all this nonsense of Igbo, not Igbo, all that rubbish we bury it tonight. And there are mad people everywhere. You know, here we cure madness. You cure madness here. Somebody's from anag saying, I'm not a Bibio. What utter foolishness. You're all one. If you come to Ibeku, the Igbo that I speak is different from Ohoho. My people in Ohoho, my cousins in Ohoho is different. The Igbo I speak is different from Olokoro, where my grandmother comes from. People are mad. Slight variation in accent. You say you're different. Are you daft? Whereas Fulani is busy during the hegemony, and they are just dividing you. Heaven asked me to give you a message. Ikwere is known as urohbo. It is one of the sub-Igbo groups. Please listen. Ikwere is Igbo. Not me saying it. Ikwere is one of the sub-Igbo groups of the Niger Delta region of Nigeria. They can't out there, they love to divide, isn't it? Ikwere is Igbo. Listen, they are considered a part of the larger Igbo ethnic group. They speak Ikwere, which is good, of course, which is an Igbo dialect, which is sometimes considered as a separate language, but of course it's not, in the Igboid family. As a result of the quest for Ikwere's recognition as a separate ethnic entity, it was the saboteurs in Ikwere land that wanted to separate Ikwere. They started saying, even the white man or Igbo, they know this. They started saying, oh, we're different people. They're saying, no, you're not. You're Igbo. You are not. You're Igbo. You're Igbo. They want to assert ethnic nationality because that's what Fulani fed them. The same nonsense Fulani fed Ogoni people through cancer we fed them junk over the years. Igbo man is your own flesh and blood one day. You know that God is miraculous. God is punishing all of us. God is using Fulani to also punish the so-called Niger Delta. Punish them. Because you rejected your own flesh and blood and you think you can have it easy. That is why the land is polluted. That's why people eat fish and they die. You want to destroy the work of God. Who are you? Who are you? You think that God that created Biafra is sleeping? You want to have fun? After you betray your brothers, you want to go and have fun? In the clique? You're insane. Insane. Ikwere is Igbo. Not me saying it. White people who are learned. Oh dear me. I'm just too upset with these people. I will have to close the program. I'm too upset, honestly. Fulani will come. Now they have taken our oil, taken the gas, and now come to take our land because of your treachery, because of your stupid Niger data rubbish. It's absolute nonsense. You gave Fulani a green light to come. Imagine if we were one together. We will go and stop them at Benue, isn't it? Is that not common sense? I don't like educating idiots because it's wasted. But I thank you, Seluku people, please. One family. We are one people, one family. Fulani have taken all of you. They gave a terrorist group 100 billion, all of you are there. Yoruba people that are there. They no longer have sense. So when it comes to an Igbo man or Biafran, when I say Igbo, I mean the whole of Biafra because I have proven it to you that we're all Igbo people. Have I not proven it to you that we're all Igbo people? Obani Big went to Bonny. It's the Niger Delta. You're landlocked. You're like, you people are so stupid. Fulani feed you rubbish and you pour out the junk. As Fulani feed you nonsense, you pour out the rubbish from your stinking mouths. Niger Delta Buhide and Dara. Useless people. Let me hear Niger Delta from your mouth again. God will punish all of you. And your useless Niger Delta nonsense. I'll bring this program to an end, please. We must thank Elohim for his blessing upon our lives. And you must remember, starting from the 27th, 6 a.m. in the morning, we're going to fasting. We're going to fasting. After the dose to fall. And I must make one thing very clear, please. Very, very clear. There are 4 people. People are now running around all over the place claiming that they want to raise funds for us. That is not the way we operate. But I want to make some things very, very clear. Very, very clear, please. Very, very clear. Those of you with very wonderful ideas, I want you to start implementing them. But they must be cleared with DOS first. I have a brother wrote something very special here about how we can conquer social media even more. It's a welcome development, and I would like him to develop it further, please. I have appointed 3 emissaries to speak to people that want to talk to us in terms of providing assistance to drive away the enemy from our land. 1 is in the UK and 2 is in the US. The one in the UK is called Rabbi. He is my emissary. I have given him a task, an assignment, and he has to do it. So if he's speaking to you saying he's coming from me, please regard that as valid. His name is Rabbi. There are 2 mothers we have in the USA. 2 of our ladies in the USA. Our mothers, very formidable and very strong. Our USA women leader, Mrs. Okafor, who's in Philadelphia, if she's talking to you about providing support for what we are doing, she is legitimate. She is one of us. I sent her. She's my emissary. There is also our sister, a lady, Madam Oyibo. Those of you in the DMV area, you may know her. In the Washington, Maryland, Baltimore area, Madam Oyibo. She is also my emissary. If she's talking to you about what we are doing, you must listen to her. Those are the 3 people authorized in the whole world to do anything concerning support for what we are doing. That's 1. And the only other people who can issue contact numbers or account numbers for those who may want it are the 2 people who man our inquiry line, the 2
young ladies that man our inquiry lines. They are the only two people that can. Only by hierarchy and order. Our sister Nenea, Ime, Anya, let me put in so they will know she's also from Ibibio. And also our deputy and Rabbi Mrs. Okafor, Madam Uyibo, and the two people on our inquiry lines. If you don't know our inquiry lines, please, Amaka, try and resend that again, pin it on the page so they can see the inquiry lines. If you have any issues, that is the line to call. I am going to take I will take your calls on Wednesday, please, not today. I will take your calls, please, on Wednesday. And our people must not be distracted. Not every idiot on fake account, because anytime you defeat them, they go and they open another one. So you stop paying attention to idiots with fake accounts. Focus on destroying the zoo. I don't want that Aisha's boyfriend to escape. That boy is our key. I don't want him to escape. We must make sure we focus our firepower on Asorok and those occupying our lands and the idiots calling themselves Niger Delta. PANDEF must dissolve tonight after this very broadcast. Join with Ohanese and look for a decent name to call yourselves. There's nothing like PANDEF. That's rubbish. We are all Igbo people. All of us. I am from Ibeku, Bende. After the war, those who were rich men in Omaha were all Ichekebe people. That's what we call them. Anambra, we all that area. Enugu is called Wawa. Everybody, we have our own names everywhere. There is also discrimination of some sort, even within. That's how life is. That's how life is. That doesn't mean that I will not recognize Anambra as the first son of Igbo land and of the whole of Biafra. Anambra remains number one. It's not in dispute anywhere. Now you will understand, don't you? As always, we have preached the gospel of heaven. Elohim has been kind to us. And we pray to Elohim to open the hearts and minds and the ears of our people in the USA. Let them remember where they come from and their obligation to the living. I maintain always that Biafra is a religion, and here on radio, Biafra is where we worship, because Elohim is our God. From me, from here, this good evening. I will play urohbo national anthem for closure today.
Obaru raba